Hi, I'm Rob from HopZine. Thanks for joining me and a plethora of your favourite UK-based beer reviewers for our Golden Pints of 2018. If you've never heard of the Golden Pints, it was something that started maybe like kind of 8 to 10 years ago. A lot of bloggers would put together a list of some of their favourite kind of like bars and pub and beers and breweries and stuff like that. So before we get into that, we'll say hello to our esteemed panel of experts. use that in inverted commas. I'll go from my left. So, Brett, how are you doing?
Good, you? Right.
What are you drinking then, Brett?
Lemonade, because I'm a bit still
lemonade
from last night.
Oh, terrible behaviour.
Yeah.
Terrible behaviour.
I know.
Very good, very good. I'm sure that'll change before the end of this. And I am slightly confused, but Harry, is he there? He's currently a white screen.
That was a bit like a Eurovision.
Harry, he's here. So we come to Harry, and he's not even there. If I were a professional, I'd have moved on, but I'm just feeling. Hey, Harry, how you doing? What are you doing?
I'm just grabbing my cup of tea.
We've got lemonade, cup of tea. It's pretty fucking show. So
Yeah.
And if you want to, I did refer it will be an absolute shit show tonight. And actually, it does look like finally someone's got a beer. Stuart, the legendary Ginger Wolverine. What are you drinking, mate?
This is what I saw your post the other day, Rob, about Wine Rack's recent purchases.
Okay.
So at the moment, I'm drinking Burnt Mill Boxcar collaboration. 10,000 Days, a small pale, 3.6%. Beautiful artwork and a nice, easy-looking beer. It looks good.
Yeah, I had it last night. It's damn good.
Yeah. But, yeah, Burnt Mill have been doing good recently.
Yeah, they've brought a bunch of new beers out, and there's that one, and then there's a Cocoa Porter.
Yeah, Big Sur something.
And a version
of
the Fog. I mean, it's like a series, isn't it? This kind of Fog range, or using different hops. I think I've had a couple.
I purchased this one from Northern Monk as well, because the artwork.
Oh yeah, that's lovely. I had that the other week. Back in that, yeah. I think that's a collab with some kind of like screamcore metal band from Sheffield or something.
Yeah.
Bring Me the Horizon.
Oh, are you aware? Are you aware of their work?
Yes, I am. They're fucking terrible. Anyway, I'm not going to say much else about that band.
Right. Fair enough. And last but very much not least, Jake, how you doing, mate?
I'm all good. I'm drinking an organic kombucha. Not really.
Oh, nice.
I'm drinking a break out a bottle of CBS.
I had one last night. That was my nightcap last night.
Yeah, well, this is one that's been kicking around since the previous release, like. And I was just going through like my little drawer, like full of beer, and I was like, oh, I'll crack that open tonight. I did a quick review of it before, and I thought, I'll nurse it while we're going through this.
2017.
Yeah.
CBS, no less. Yeah, because I don't think this year's is actually there's no mountie on the back of the horses. I don't think.
Oh, is there not?
No.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, this one's got them on. You must have fallen off.
Yeah. I knew I could rely on my Good Be Alive brethren to hold up the like make up for Harry and Brett.
Yeah, I think an 11% stout is made up for it.
Yeah. Cool. So top of the list is one I found quite hard actually, and that is UK Best Cask. And as I'm hosting, I'll start off. I really had to think about this one because I don't drink a hell of a lot of cask, to be honest. And it was Dayers, what time do you call this? Which I drank with. If you go on to Jake's channel, you can see review. Quite a jolly me, Craig, and Jake drinking that in the Cop Tavern in Hackney.
Yeah,
that was outstanding.
Yeah, that's my one as well. That's the one I chose for it because it was just so good. To have that sort of hazy style of pale ale on cask, you sort of think it shouldn't work, but that really did. I can't remember. We had a few halves of it, didn't we? I think we sort of like kept going back for it. Yeah. I
think we drank it until we ran out. Actually, as it turns out, the beer that I'm drinking, which is the North Brewing's collab double IPA with Finback, that we're on cask as well recently at Bundibus in Leeds. Oh, so is this since Cloudwater kind of reinvented cask?
Yeah.
It seems like people are kind of pushing the expectations of what you get on a cask beer these days. So yeah, so I'll go up the line, and there's one person I'd like to believe I can rely on for cask ale, and that is Stuart. What would your favourite cask beer of the year be?
Well, I've had so many here in the UK and America because I've been mostly in America. I have to rely on stuff that's been more ready for me, available. And when I visited today, because everything that they've done is knocked out of the park, is Wishbone Brewery. Their cask is perfect. It escalates what a cask ale is, and it always tastes good. I mean, I had one today, a gluten-free one that they released, and really good. And if you remember back in the olden days, gluten-free beers were dreadful. And name 2 Yorkshire breweries that do good gluten-free beers: Magic Rock and Wishbone.
Ah, very good. Yeah, I mean, I guess the rest of the... I don't know if anybody else has had any Wishbone. Little brewery in Keighley. A guy who built my homebrew kit, actually. And he is he was former brewer at Saltaire. Set up his own thing, and yeah, he does keg, but it started out as cask. Very hop forward a lot of the time. Quite bitter beers as well, like that. So yeah, he does some good stuff. Cool. Harry, cask ale, and it can't be your own.
So I think mine. I've kind of got 2 which are really, really close, but I think probably the top one would have to be Richside's Muffin Compares to You. I got to try that on. It was literally just straight after Hop City as well. Went down to Nottingham and tried it in the Stratford Haven, and I've had it in can. I've had it on keg, and then I had it on cask to start with, and it was just by far the best method. It was just nice tight sparkler, and it was just so soft, creamy, and I smashed about 4 pints of it before going to football, and can't really remember the football, but it was just fantastic. It was just a lovely body on it, and I think it was 6%. I think it really hit the ABV on it, just with all that muffininess. I think the only thing that's close to that was an Abbeydale beer, weirdly enough. And it was the Dr. Morton's, something like that, Duck Baffler.
That's an old one, isn't it? That's an old
Abbeydale.
Ridiculous bump clip with like loads of shite on it.
Yeah. And I had that up at the Greyhound, and it was fantastic. I mean, it's one place where they actually really do look after the beer, so that always helps. But it was just so dangerously sessionable. It was only 4%, but it's had a few more than I did, so that was another one that was close. But yeah,
very good, very good. Brett, favorite cask ale?
Cask ale. This is very traditional choice. A local brewery called Sixpenny Brewery. They're from Wimborne or Cranbourne, Wimborne way. Very local. And it's their
local
best.
beer for local people.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's that. I had that as my local to Saxon bar, and I just went, wow, I've been searching for the like a best bitter, like just
Okay.
a best bitter, because that's what I used to drink when I started drinking. So I was like, Ringwood's gone downhill, I might as well try and find myself a best bitter, and that was the one that just made me go, wow, back to square one again, and it refreshes your palate.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, it's a style that's pretty much non-existent, really. I mean, even in kind of like quite traditional circles, it's all kind of golden ale and pale ale now, isn't it? Even stuff what you'd expect to be tried. It isn't kind of, it's not got that bready, kind of like hearty, kind of like best bitter quality.
Yeah, it's definitely
Super.
definitely one of the best beers I've had on cask.
Very good, very good. Cool. So next up we have, hang on, who's not got their headphones on and I can hear a relay? Is that Stuart? It stopped again now.
I've turned the sound down.
Oh, cool.
Basically, if you see it,
Anyway,
my laptop's on a tea tray.
okay.
Like on the hood, the hood of Bradford.
So that next up, best UK keg, and I'm going to start with Jake.
Oh, okay. This one goes all the way back to Hop City, and it was Fruit Car Site Exhibition from Verdant. I sort of had to rack my brains because it's been a funny year for me of beer. I've not gone for like crazy beers or like standard. I've gone for super sessionable, easy drinking beers, but that one sticks in my head as being just an absolute crazy, like hoppy mess of a beer. And it was damn good at Hop City, and it's stuck in my head ever since. But yeah, and I think they've just re-released it, haven't they?
Yeah, it was really nice. I mean,
Yeah.
Verdant have been a bit this year, I think, a bit up and down, but that was good second time round as well. So yeah, stunner, yeah. You're making me rethink things now. Sometimes with these lists, you're just going to go, no, fuck it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really interesting. You're saying that you're going to go on with kind of more sessiony kind of stuff. Because I barely used Untapped this year, so I didn't scroll back through my Untapped going, oh, well, I'll give that a 5.
Yeah.
Clearly, that was my favourite. And it's stuff what's kind of stayed with me a bit, and maybe stuff I've had multiple times as well. So yeah, next up, Brett, favourite keg. UK keg beer this year.
UK keg. Well, I put Cloudwater Belgian IPA because when I tried it, it was like a banana and mango milkshake and strong at I think it was 8% or something. I think it was, yeah. And when I had it at Saxon Bar, I was like, I have a pint of that, and obviously everyone knows that I drink Imperial thing. And they just was like, that's no usual. But said it doesn't taste like 8%. And my mate Jimmy, he drinks high ABV beers, and he said that's really nice for 8%, and you wouldn't think about it. And it's really nice.
Pints of 8% Belgian IPA. And now I know why you're feeling rough today.
No, I had Elevator last night, which was 7.2. 2 pints of that.
Session ale.
Yeah.
Craft session.
Yeah.
Harry, what you got for your best UK keg?
2 years again. So I think there was one that probably stood out a little bit, which was Glasshouse's Single Pane Citra. So this came out quite early on in the year. I think it was maybe March time, maybe around that sort of time. Yeah, it was one of the first brews on his new kit, which still waiting for the brewery to open the tap room. But yeah, that was just crazy good. It was just, I think it was a single hopped. I think it was 4% or something, or 5%. It was just full of Citra, and it was just, imagine how Oakham Ale's Citra could be. but not. But yeah, it was really awesome. I think a close second was Beer Rinks. We are never eating baklava together, and that was ultimately what ended my night very, very quickly. We were at Hop City because having a few of them beforehand.
Yeah, I was with you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That was a damn good beer, actually. That was really good.
Yeah, that was probably a close one, but yeah, Glasshouse definitely winning.
Yeah, actually, well mentioned. I mean, I've got some runners up for various kind of categories. If you've got any kind of honourable mentions or runners up, please kind of like chip in and tell me what they were, because I've got a few for this kind of category as well. So, Stuart, if you can stop dicking around with your computer for a minute.
Well, I'm trying to look back in with Keg's beers, and the majority of Keg beers haven't been in the UK. They've mostly been in America.
Oh yeah, whatever.
But I'm sure there was one. I was a record. I'm just trying to remember. Just ask someone else.
Okay, I'll go through mine then. Mine is Northern Monk. Their collaboration with Against the Grain. It's the Kentucky Shire Breakfast Stout. I thought that was just absolutely just my kind of beer. I mean, I'm upset that I can't get Founder's Breakfast Stout, and that filled a gap for a short period of time. I thought that was absolutely spectacular. Had it a bunch of times since. I don't know if it were a new batch or whatever, but I thought that was mine. I mean, my kind of runners up in no particular order. I've got Wonder Beyond Bloom and Left-Handed Giants, More Glow, which is probably the Citra version, but I've enjoyed all the ones I've had. I don't think I had the Chinook version, but I think I've enjoyed all that. The single hop IPAs. And yeah, anybody else who I didn't kind of get to with your runners up or your honourable mentions, if you want to mention anything?
I'd say for me, honourable mention would be the Dark Revolution Elevator that I had last night. That blew my head off.
What kind of beer was that then?
I think it was a dipper. I'm not.
We say double IPA.
Blocked.
But, yeah, when my mate saw me come in, he goes, "Elevator, try it," and I was like, "Okay." Tasted it, and I was like, "Oh, do you know when you get the burst?" A lot of hops went in there, I think, but the alcohol burnt, literally burnt. You could taste the alcohol, but it was just phenomenal. Phenomenal.
That word, what nobody's. I'm not going to try and say it now. We all look like you do.
I hate that word.
It's really good.
Yeah.
That's what I go with. Stuart, have you come to a decision, Mr. Pickard?
I'll have to mention the one I had today then, because it looks like all I had is ones in America.
You've been to Hop City. You went to Hop City this year. We went to North.
Yeah, I looked at the pictures and I'm like going, yeah, that were all right. That were all right.
International.
Yeah, but again, that Imperial Stout that I had today was so good. I went back twice, and that was from Whiplashes Brewery.
Oh, Wishbone's Imperial Stout.
Yeah, they just brewed it. I think it's their first time, and it was normally I don't have that kind of big beer twice, and I normally just don't repeat. But that was so good. What better way to finish at a brewery that's stuck out all year for me?
Yeah.
Then that was just on form for what it needed to be, and just perfect.
Fair enough.
And what were the brewery the other day that I'm really looking forward to seeing more of? The Mavic. Everything they've done on cask. They're from Leeds.
Yeah, I know.
Everything they've done on cask have just been super solid. But yeah,
I don't buy.
But yeah, I looked back. All the keg beers I've had this year are all American.
Oh. Yeah, whatever. Well, I'm sure you've got plenty to say for those that category then. So next up we've got UK best. I'm going to go can or bottle because I don't drink a hell of a lot of bottles, it appears, at the moment. I mean, it's intermittent nowadays. I think it used to take me back like a year, maybe 2 years. I think it would have been a lot more bottles and a few cans here and there. I'll start you off on this one. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I've gone with Northern Kentuckyshire Breakfast Stout. Because I mean, if I enjoyed it that much on draft, I mean, why was it going to be such a dramatically different? I guess a lot of stuff I'll drink on draft, I'll probably have the opportunity to have in keg as well these days, especially when kind of like those kind of top tier breweries that you kind of like get around a lot of major cities. It's kind of inevitable you'll come across the draft, especially when they're local. It's not a monk local out there. I thought that was absolutely stunning. I had it on cask as well. I just forgot now. Then I could have done it for
all three.
Really boring.
Best overall beer.
Yes, so I ain't got any. I didn't put any down any runners up for this. I think I was thinking that's just going to be far too difficult just to remember. Any runners up on that one? Just so many. Yeah, endless, really, isn't it? So I'm going to go to Harry.
Okie dokie. It's the past sort of few months. I haven't had too many UK cans or bottles. I've just been on the hype source all the time.
So if it's not you, if it's not Stuart, it's you, isn't it?
But I would say there's one I had the other day, which I was really, really impressed with. It was Dig Brew. They've done a collab with Padstow. Now, you'll find this has just hit like Ghostwell and places like that. It's just hit all of London, so it's getting tapped, checked on tapped fuck at the moment. And it was their Granny, which I believe was a Goes or a I can't remember. It was a Goes. I think I'm pretty sure it was Goes. Raspberry Goes. I will check, but it was just like the colour of it. On the can. Let's just check it. Can spell it. Yeah. So sorry, Berliner Weiss Goes. Get it right. And it's probably not going to get the greatest rating in the world by most people because they don't like Berliner Weisses, and I really do. And I was just really impressed with it because it's like the colour of it was quite surprising. It was fluorescent, pinky, and I compare it to some of the stuff I've had from the States in terms of the sours from Grimm. That is kind of on par with some of that stuff, and it's great because it's blueberry Berliner Weiss, and it's slow cranberry and blueberry, and it just worked perfectly. Really nice.
Cool.
Stuart's just playing the bongos.
He's never going to say, just kind of like snapping on his keyboard.
It's my turn because I'm just looking through all lists, and for me, the bottle that stood out for the year. Well, bottle is basically the Buxton Isle of Peat beer that I had. I bragged you all. I bought from the Triangle in Shipley. And can, it's either 2 beers from Verdant, the Gardener something, and Owl, which I started after the year with Rob with.
Oh, of course, yeah. Was that this year? Was that?
I think
this year. We drank Old Owl.
Yeah.
Which is now called Alan.
Is it?
Yeah, they had to change name because Roosters have got a beer called Howl.
Oh.
So it's now called Alan. I understand why it's called Alan because it's a reference. It's an Allen Ginsberg poem, but it's called Alan, isn't it?
Yeah. But me and Rob sessioned quite a lot of Owl and Gardener beer in Brewdrum.
Yeah, we did.
And it was such a fluid drink in can. And then
it was fantastic.
The rest of the night was like a blur. But yeah,
we probably overdid that a little bit.
They're the two that stand out.
Oh, very good, very good. So, Jake.
For me, well, it's funny Harry mentioned the Raspberry Goza because it was North Brewing and Verdant's Triple Fruit Goza that came out around May, which was just probably the most ridiculous beer I had this year. It was unclear for years, and you don't say that about a Goza too much. It was thick. It was like
paint.
milkshake. Yeah, it was, and it looked like paint in the glass. But it just tasted so damn good. And it was 4%. So
that one broken, mate?
Yes. No, I gave you the guava. That was the second version.
Yeah, they've done a few different ones. Yeah. But that first one they did with Verdant was just perfect, and it just took that style in such a different direction. It was really good.
Cool. Brett, what you got for your best bottle or can?
Well, do you want me to be biased?
You can be as biased as you want.
Dark Revolution Vibrant Forest Baloo. That's a coconut and blueberry export stout.
Cool.
8.2%, I think is. Amazing beer. It's weird. It's a weird beer. You get the coconut, and then after when you've had the coconut, you get this slight tinge of blueberry. It's really, really nice. And then honourable mention would be Twisted Barrel Wrapped in Galaxy. First beer by them. Knocked my socks off. Haze for days. Just tasted like
that one.
Yeah.
I think me and Harry had that really late. Well, I'll say late one night, but it was early one morning in Birmingham. Was that the Galaxy one? What we had in that bar late on? I was telling you how amazing Rocky 3 was.
Yeah,
it was on telling in this bar at like 1 in the morning. We had been drinking. Well, I'd been drinking since about 11 o'clock that morning. So, yeah. was that? Yeah, it was a wrap.
I think it was. Yeah. That was in Thousand Trays in Birmingham, which is a pub I rarely ever go in. But yeah.
Yeah, no, that was a really good beer. I mean, as much as I kind of think Twisted Barrel are a bit up and down. I mean, on the day they can be good. I mean, I just chucked the can away actually. One of my mystery beers that Peter gave me was their breakfast stout. That was damn good.
Yeah.
It was damn good. That.
Was that a can as well?
Right. Yes. Yeah. It was mystery beer. My last one. Posted a couple of weeks ago now. So I mean, as far as the UK goes, I guess this is like your best. This is like best film at Oscars, isn't it? This, even though it comes quite early in the list. I don't make the list, so fuck off. All right. And it's best UK brewery. I mean, I'm sure you've got runners up. I've got a bunch of runners up as well. So, Jake, who you got best brewery in the UK?
Best brewery for me. I've based this on sort of the amount of new releases I've drunk from the brewery, and hands down, it's been Burnt Mill this year. And obviously they're ridiculously close to me. I do like know the guys from Burnt Mill, so it's sort of like it's easy to get their beers, but on top of that, they also are ridiculously good beers, and just perfect for what I've been craving. Just really well made, easy drinking, but like they still pack a punch when they need to.
Swimming Giants. That was incredible.
Yeah, that was one of my beers of the year. That was good. And then like my runner up to that which was quite surprising to me. I sort of based this on sort of Instagram pictures and Untapped and all that sort of thing. Was North Brewing. I've had a hell of a lot of their beers and collabs and that this year, and they seem to really sort of hit their stride with
absolutely.
So they've been damn good.
And at the moment, like best they've ever been. I mean, I had one earlier. I had the coconut IPA earlier, which was fantastic. I'm drinking the double IPA at the moment, and the other one I've got on the go is there. It just happens. This is what I've got in, but bought them all at the same time, and that's the peanut butter milk stout. I mean, yeah, I don't have them on my list because I think they hit the stride in the last couple of months, really. I mean, so I did hold back. For myself, I've gone with Northern Monk. Once again,
breakfast stout.
I mean, I think the thing about Northern Monk, I mean, there's stupid amounts of Patronus projects get released, and I mean, I don't buy everything that they produce, But there's been some amazing stuff this year. The amount of new beers they produce, I think it's kind of crazy. What's that fucking noise? What's Stuart doing now? Is he flushing his toilet?
It sounds like something from Lost. Or something.
I'm listening. Do you realise how many beers I've drank over this year? Do you realise how hard I have to look?
I mean, this is brewery. This is different. This is different. Different ball game. Yeah, my runners up. I've got Left-Handed Giant, Track, and Wonder Beyond. I mean, Left-Handed Giant. I think I've had some duff. I mean, last one I had last night was good. The Cascadian Dark Ale, but I had a terrible one last week. So that kind of knocked them off the top spot. That did. I was quite tempted. Track. I mean, not a hell of a lot of packaged stuff I've had. It's intermittent. Happy with them. But I mean, the draft, when it's on form, it's amazing. Wonder Beyond just done some silly stuff. Bloom. What was the other one? Obviously, Octopod. That was stupid. Coconut Grater. I felt they were fantastic. And I mean, some of the stuff's a bit iffy. Some casks, some lower ABV stuff isn't. But I think they've had some real standouts. So that they didn't get my best. But yeah. Another one for the home team, Northern Monk. We'll give live and direct from his outside toilet. Shoot Picard.
But
have you got for your?
Well, you've all given up some great suggestions. I mean, starting out the year, North Brew was hitting on all cylinders. Wonder Beyond, but both Wonder Beyond have been failing a bit. Burnt Mill just been running steady, up and up and up, getting better. And the fact that they're more reliable and all this stuff, everything that was I took them to America and stuff like that. Everything's been solid. It's been all thumbs. But I was looking. There's quite a lot of breweries that are getting better. I mean, Brew York are really good. I know it's Yorkshire, but for me, probably Wylam because they continue to get better. Because I had the early stuff, and it was dreadful. It was dreadful. It was disgusting and horrible bad beers.
Did you use them when they were still on the farm?
Yeah, they were horrible. And then I remember I seen them at, I think it was Leeds International, and the other one that they had was drinkable for me was the Monkman's Slaughterhouse or something.
Yeah.
But all the cans have been on form that I've managed to try. Another brewery that's continued to improve is Left-Handed Giant. And they were a bit shaky at the beginning. Coming to the end of the year, Burnt Mill, Left-Handed Giant, Wylam. Yeah. There's a few others, but I don't want to be biased toward Yorkshire because Yorkshire breweries are slowly getting better and they're starting to pick up speed. That's good.
That's the most thing I think she's ever said about Yorkshire breweries. They're getting better. I thought you'd say they are the best.
Well, no, because a lot of as Rob will know, a lot of Yorkshire breweries, they do super solid cask ales, but they're slowly changing the branding and the beers are getting better.
True.
So they're appealing more to common market instead of the reliant market. That's what a brewery should do.
True. Very, very insightful. Who'd have expected that? Brett, who have you got as your best UK brewery?
They're all the ties. I can't put them. This one. They're all like solid breweries and just. One of them did blow me away. And I've only had one beer by them, which is Gypsy Hill.
Super solid.
But the other three that I have that are just solid all the time: Dark Revolution, Sixpenny, and Watson Brewery. Obviously, a bit different than you'd think. Dark Revolution, they just released a Cracker Beer, with their IPAs. There's Voodoo's like if you like chili, you'll like Voodoo. It's a smoked chipotle stout, really nice. Quite sessionable, 6.2. Sixpenny, obviously, I've said about their best, really good. Want some's Imperium, another best bitter, which is on par with Sixpenny. So I can't really say this one's the best, and then because they're all like solid in my books.
It's quite interesting. I mean, most of us going for local breweries. I wonder if what does that say?
Oh, I'm not local. Why not?
He said what? He said well, shut up.
Wonsome's, I've forgotten where Wonsome's from.
Wonsome's from Kent. Wonsome's in
Kent.
Yeah. It's down south. Rob knows it's down south.
If it's not in Yorkshire, it's not worth bothering.
Honourable mention for Turning Point. Is it Turning Point? Being run at it in Harrogate, the beers have been failing as well.
Oh, fucking rubbish! I remember I didn't realise they were from kind of around York, and I had one down in Bristol because I thought they were like local to there, and they were like, and it was terrible as well. It was like cookies and cream, and like, this is shit.
One of the brewers is from a brewery from Wales. I've met him.
Depends which brewery. Nobody picked anything from Wales so far. What does that say? There's not a lot of great beer in Wales, I've got to say. Before I select too many members of my list. I'll get to that later. When we go to like the best Instagram. So, Harry, who you got?
So yeah, Daya. Just been
done.
Smashing, just Daya. It's just been smashing out of the park for me because I've just been able to get a hold of pretty much everything they've done very easily. All the cans, and then I had quite a lot on tap as well. I mean, I don't think I've had casks for a long time from Daya, but I'm not going to places where I can get cans, that's right. But yeah, I think an honourable mention would probably be Glasshouse again. It was just when they eventually get their fucking distro sorted, then you'll all get to try the delights of Glasshouse. But yeah, no, definitely Daya top for me. It's just every single beer I've had from them has just been brilliant. Apart from the pills, that was just a bit. Yeah. Tabby pills, I think it is. It wasn't it was bad, it's just like really not my style.
Yeah, I mean, I've said early in the year, the Into the Haze is like, for me, potentially the best like core range, if you can say core range for a day. Probably the best core range IPA in the country, if not Europe. It's rock solid, it's damn tasty, it's pretty damn consistent. It's a wonderful.
Stuart's operating the Hadron Collider again.
Do you know what hard it is to find UK brewers on that ale trail thing? They're all American.
Oh, they're not. Well, on that note, what a wonderful place to move on to Stuart, and it's international can or bottle. So we can all have a rest. If you want to go to the toilet, Stuart's going to be talking about it. That's all he's had this year. He's been in America 90% of the year. What can I say? He's an international globetrotting ginger. So come on, Stuart. So your best international can or bottle. You can have multiple, but yeah, go for it.
Well, I've had a lot, and I mean a lot. But the one that stood out the most is Midnight Sun's barley wine. Yeah, as soon as it touched my lips, but I was like, it just reminded me back to why I love talking about beer. It just made everything else float inside. It's just such a good barley wine. And it's so hard to get a good barley wine because they're all frustratingly over sweet or over barrel aged or blah blah blah. Well, that was like sometimes I just my lips are like, I'm done. This is awesome. If I could get more of this, I would. And I'm trying to get my girlfriend to get me more of this because it's really good. I shared the stout with Rob. It was good, but it didn't touch what the barley wine did. It was just like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you have any
everything I had there was just super solid.
Mm-hmm.
And that was on my New Hampshire trip.
Okay.
What else? Pennsylvania. I drank lots of Perpetual from Trogs. I did. But that little savage. What else did I drink in America? Really? Well, I had Goose Island, Bourbon County on tap. That was not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah. Basically, Definitive. Anything from Definitive and the Midnight Sun, by the way. They're all the thing you stick in my head.
Very good, very good. As he flails around, finished his turn as the magician or a mind reader in your local working man's club. It was appeared. But after we've done this round, Peter, if you do have your answers, we'll recap you. We can have a mini special if you.
I don't actually have my answers because I didn't expect to be around tonight. So
fair enough. We'll let you.
So I'll just go along.
Let's make it up.
So we've had Stuart, Jake. What are you going with?
What we did again? Candle bottle.
International candle bottle.
Well, this one was quite easy for me. It was Stillwater's Action Bronson 7000. It was the Muscat Grape Sour, and it was just so good. It was really just ridiculously good. I wish I got a couple of cans of it, and I wish I got more. And plus, it had the magic touch of Action Bronson there to make it taste even better. Yeah. It stuck out because this year I haven't actually drank that much. Like I'm the opposite of Stuart. I've not drunk much international stuff. Even like European stuff. It has been like local or in the UK. So it's quite hard to pick.
You have to compensate for me, Jacob.
Yeah, I offset you.
Yeah.
Any runners up? Any honourable mentions?
I don't for this category. That was the standout.
Oh, it was damn good.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a draft in Bristol, and I bought a can, and I bought another can afterwards as well. I agree. Yeah, it does have that little kind of bit of magic dust kind of sprinkled on it, a bit of extra Bronson kind of does help the situation. And I talked to his fucking neighbour about it and stuff. Yeah, it would have been. It was a contender for a runner-up from me. Harry, this is probably quite a good one for you, as you've been illegally importing beer for most of the year.
Yeah, I'm very much legally doing it.
If anybody from the HMRC is watching,
oh no, we're doing it legit. We're actually doing it legit. Actually legit. But yeah, there's a few. But I have to say that I'll just say honourable mentions first. Was the bottle that Stuart brought over, the Zathdig, which I forget the brewery. It was a brewery in.
Yes, we got that.
Yeah, I love that.
That was good.
Jeez,
was that this year?
That was it. Bourbon barrel aged imperial stout. I don't even want to know what ABV it was, but it was really nice.
So good.
And yeah, we did that in February this year. Yeah, when it came for
Zathdig. You say?
Is that-
that brewery?
Yeah, Zathtig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend brewed it as a last thing to do with that brewery before she moved on. And she goes, "Hey, do you want this bottle?" I went, "Yeah, sure." And then no one wanted to drink it with me apart from Harry. So I had to drink it with Harry.
Yeah.
What brewery was that?
Zaptic, it's in Ohio. I think they've just done a collaboration with another brewery.
I'll find it quickly because just wrote it down. Oh, I'm a retard. Zathtig. That's spelled it right.
So while you're doing your bit of online, your live fucking internet browsing.
Did we do it Battle of Our Stouts?
Okay. It's a Zathtig bourbon barrel aged Bambalam stout. Yeah, it was just crazy, crazy good. ABV.
Jeez, thanks for the reminder.
ABV, what was it? 10%. So session ale, really, sessionable imperial stout. But yeah, so that was definitely a good honourable mention. But I would probably say I've been spoiled for choice over the Trillium, the other half, and more recently I've been able to get some Grim, and I've had a few Grim, a lot of sours, of course. But then I think my overall top beer would have to be one from Trillium, which is Farnsworth Street DDH. And that was just crazy good. That was a few months back now. I think it was like my third or fourth Trillium, and it was just insanely juicy and fruity and just so sessionable. I think it was the 7.2, I think it was, but it was just drank like it was 4. But
I was drinking it in Boston.
Yeah,
in Boston.
Yeah, just walking down the street.
Drinking in the park.
Yeah,
drinking
Trillium. You're seeing his footage of.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I've
seen it.
Label stuck on his back.
Yeah, I think that's definitely like top for me, and then possibly the Grim Super Paradise as a second. That was just juice, but sour juice, but it was nice.
Fair play, you fancy bastard.
Yeah. And I've got, if anyone's interested, I've got a whole load of more Trillium coming in next week. Just let me know.
If anybody wants a last minute Christmas present by anybody who's on this, contact Harry on Facebook. Sort you out. Brett, what's your favourite international
joint first would be Founders CBS, because that opened a wide door for me for imperial stouts and flavoured in junks. It was just amazing. Thank you, Harry, for bringing that along. Excellent beer. And then the second one that's joint is Boone Black Label version 3. That really did introduce me to sours like nobody's business, and since then I've been hooked. Really tart, and I just wanted to neck the whole bottle, and it was in the big bottle as well. But
drinking out a bottle.
I was tempted to, and then I got a blackjack with the second, actually, joint second. Well, one of them you're just like, yeah, that's okay, that's possible. But that's Till Sur Citra. Very nice. If I remember, I was drinking it, and I really liked it, and then I kind of like twitched something, and I kicked it over. So cost me $7.50 from Brewdog in Southampton, and I've never went, oh fuck's sake. And then joint second would be the most surprising one is Perla Modoa, the honey version of Polar, and it was surprisingly good. When you got it chilled down a little bit.
The point where you can't taste it.
No, you can taste the honey, but
blog.
but yeah, it was really nice. And obviously you got loads of Polish shops and they stock it, so it could be a go-to if you wanted it. But
It's one to
yeah.
want to hunt out.
Yeah.
The perler. Who would have thunk it?
So
Honourable mention is Bissell Brothers. Well, I didn't get the name of the beers I took. I drank, but they had a really nice stout there at the brewery.
Oh, right. Yeah, I mean, thinking about it, yes, Swish and Bissell's ridiculously good.
Yeah.
So it's silly good. I've gone with, until we're giving Peter's still rummaging around in his handbag. So I'll give him a minute.
Give me a sec.
I've gone with Equilibrium straight out of the laboratory. I had that on draft and I had it on. Well, I'll give him next. Why did I say that? What an idiot. I'm giving my next round away. Because I had it on draft and I had a can as well. And that was excellent. Runner up, I've got. I mean, and I felt kind of like confident in that because I had a full can to myself, and I had a third of it as well. So it wasn't that kind of like just a little flash in the pan as my runner up was, which was Trillium's Tiramisu Stout, which was just absolutely staggering. It at a bottle share, so I didn't feel comfortable putting that at my my number one slot because I wish I'd have happily drunk a full bottle of it, and that was incredible. So every time I see Harry with one of these, every time I see anybody with these Trillium kind of like dessert stouts, I get exceptionally jealous. But that was stunning. Peter, are you prepared? Do you have an international can or bottle in mind?
I do indeed, and just disclaimer, this might not be my final choice, but off the top of my head, runner-up would be the Spontan Double Raspberry from McKellar. Probably the best sour beer that I've had this year. But I think one of my favourites, and one that sticks out, is the Nothing Too Much from Barrier Brewing, which is the triple IPA, which is double dry hopped with mosaic citra and brewed with tangerine, mango, and peach puree. And it tasted like Wander Beyond's Octopod, with that like chunky, really sweet mouthfeel. And it was just absolutely gorgeous. And for a triple IPA, it was just a bit too drinkable. But that would probably be my favourite one. Yeah,
I mean, it's odd. I mean, I really don't usually like triple IPAs, and I'm always a bit like, oh, it's completely unnecessary. Why can't it be like 6.4 or 7.2 and not be like 12? It doesn't need to be that strong. But as I said, the one what I went with, I think that was 10 at least, 10.5. And one of the other ones, what was like, that would have been my third place, was and I didn't want to just have 2 Trillium because I thought I'd just seem like a knob then. Was the triple IPA that Stuart brought me back from Trillium. That was outstanding. What was it called? 64, number 64 or something like that. That was absolutely staggering. But yeah, I just felt I'd appear like one of those people you don't like on Instagram if I were like, that Trillium was nice, and then that Trillium was nice. So,
well, yeah,
to be Harry.
Well, I know you like your triple IPAs, so that's why I got you that.
But like I said, but that's it. I mean, I think it just shows when you've got breweries that are doing it to that silly high standard, like Trillium and Equilibrium. Yeah, it's kind of like you can't. You just can't be denied, really, even though you might not be the kind of like style that you love all that much. As I completely gave away my next answer, which is International Keg. As you said, Equilibrium straight out of the laboratory, and then my runner-up. I did struggle with this because I've not had a hell of a lot of international kind of draft beer, unlike Stuart, as I'm sure we'll hear about in a minute. But I went. My runner-up was Other Half's Rice Propsy Treats, which was my first beer at the first session I went to at Dark City. Just 16.5, 16.2, I think it was. Sweet, like adjunct heavy imperial stout. I thought, well, I know this is going to go, so I've got to drink it, and it was absolutely staggering. And first dark beer I've had from Other Half as well, and it was incredible. So that out of the way, shall we once again let's put on your comfy shoes, and Stuart's going to tell us all about all the American beer that he's been drinking on draft. So your international cake, Stuart, what's been your highlight?
Let's look. Start for you. What is it? Alaska. Obviously, we travelled to parts of Anchorage and stuff like that. I went to some really good breweries. But on my Alaskan trip, everything that Midnight Sun was doing on tap was just really good. But if you ever get a chance to go to Seward in Alaska, the bars are just awesome. Just awesome. Moving on to New Hampshire, Definitive. Everything that they was doing, anything on that road was really good. I had a Jim Beam stout from Allagash on tap, which is exclusive to the brewery. Awesome, really good.
Reminiscent about his time at Allagash.
What else there? There was Austin. What do you call it? Austin something. Austin Street Brewery. They did some really good and nice, fun, easy drinking beers. There were a bunch of breweries that are really good that way. Smoky Nose were a bit okay when I was at the brewery. Flying Dog were weird. That was just weird beers. Just weird.
Really? Okay.
Probably.
They're one of the kind of OGs of the kind of the stuff what we can get over here. Yeah, but
the beers were just overly experimental and stuff that you'd probably say, no, please stop, no. Throwback was really good, and there was a brewery called, I think it's like Long Cat or Long-Tailed Cat. Their beers was really good. It's like a blue cat sort of emblem on the. Their beers were really good. Throwback were really good. What else was there?
There's this brewery called Hill Farmstead. I went there, blah blah. I know he didn't. That's next year, I'm sure. Isn't it?
I'll give a brown ale to Rob. Alapacian Brewery or something. Alapacian.
What are they called? No,
everything that I had from them was solid. But
Appalachian.
Appalachian, yeah. And it's a beautiful place in just outside Gettysburg, I think. So.
Yeah, well, it seems like you've had quite a lot of sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Was there a definitive answer in there somewhere?
No. If I was to say, probably Throwback Brewery.
Oh, right.
Because the experience there was just awesome. Great food, great people, great everything, and everything I had from their beers was solid. And they grow on farm. But
All right. Cool. So, Brett, international.
Follow that.
Yeah.
I have 4 actually, so I'm going to do a Stuart impression. Right. I would pick off the bat. Would be number 1 for me. Would be 2 Old Mrs. Black. I don't normally like dating licorice.
No, me neither.
I tried it. This is at Beavertown, Beaver X. I thought, I'm going to try this, see what it's like. No word of a lie. You get the sweetness of the date, and then you get the sourness from licorice. Somehow it works. And at 10%, anyway. But next one is Binky Claws was it almond barrel aged barley wine, 11.2. I was serving that at Beaver X, and I must have like filled up like 5 glasses while I was working there to get me through the day.
So that's Demolin. Demolin and Hair of the Dog.
Yeah.
Well, you need to know what the beer tastes like if you're going to serve it.
Yeah, that's true. And it was like pouring amaretto, and it tasted like amaretto. It was like a liqueur. And then we got Garage Projects, Usually Rising Sun, same place, Beaver X. These are all the ones that I had at Beaver X. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to get them anywhere else. Usually Rising Sun is basically like a tequila sunrise. You got the raspberry on top, and then you got the yuzu at the bottom. The way they poured it, and luckily, because we have cameras, us guys, we like to review things, don't we? So I kind of pushed in the Garage Project. It was a fucking massive line,
a massive queue all the time.
Yeah, and I managed to squeeze in there, and people were like, "Oh, you pushed in." I was like, "Oh, sorry, I got to this review, otherwise, sort of thing." And they're like, "Oh, that's fine, but we're going in front of you," sort of thing. I was like, "Yeah, that's cool." The people behind me were like oblivious or whatever. So I managed to get that beer within 10 minutes. Yeah, that was a good beer. I've got what percentage it is. Actually, I got it up here somewhere. Yeah, 4.4, real sessionable. And then the creme of the creme of the weekend, most probably pushed me over the limit. Was Hells and Venotements Icebox barrel aged, and the ABV of this is 21.3%.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
I was going to joke and say, oh, it's like 23%, and it actually wasn't that.
Yeah, it's only 23%.
And Rob, you saw the glasses. They were only allowed to serve half a measure, not the full measure. Obviously, I went back and did it twice, but I can't actually remember what that. I can't actually remember
double fisting each time.
But I can't actually remember what it tastes like.
I had the very same beer.
Oh,
I think it was quite syrupy.
Yeah, while we're doing an event back in about a month or two ago, and my mate went to it and came back with like almost a growler of it, and it was reasonably heavily consumed on the train back.
God, I bet that was expensive.
Yeah.
What was it? Was that a craft beer calling?
I can't remember. It was somewhere
up at Wylam with Demolin there. Yeah, I've been. Yeah, so that sounds nuts.
He managed to get like, I think it was like, near enough growler.
He managed to get off his train in Birmingham. I think that's the biggest accomplishment of that.
Well, the thing is, he lives in Sheffield, so. Slight detail. But it was good though.
So, Harry, what's yours then?
Which one are we doing now?
International Keg.
Yeah. So it's two very, very close. And number 2 would probably be. Oh, yeah. I'm yet to try that, the Guinness and Tillemans. I've heard an awful lot of things, and the fact that my friends are selling it, in fact, my Clink are selling it for cost price says enough. But yeah, I'd probably say my second would be Piss and Lip from Brasserie Fantôme.
Yeah.
So
you got that on
a really old one down there if you're interested in a really old one.
I'm interested in old ones. I really get into Pantone because so Roberto Ross, who is well known around these parts, he is now the director for one of the directors for Pantone, and so he's going to be working, and then the new brewer as well. There's a new brewer at Fantone as well, who's an English chap. Because I can't remember this chap's name now, but he's basically gone and he's just retired. And so we've got.
I didn't realise, because I always thought it was like a one-man show at Fantone. Who's got Danny?
Danny Pringham, that's it. Danny Pringham. So he's kind of retired and lives over the road from the brewery. Okay. And they've got a younger lad who's gone in, but then there's also, I think this is right anyway. I'm fairly sure it is. You know, what's his name? From a chap from Landlocked Brewery up in Derby. Mike James. He is doing a lot of brewing there as well now. So Mike is really good mates with Roberto, and they do all these Belgian trips all over the place. And I think he is doing quite a few brews there. So he's going to be brewing.
Landlocked or as Fantone?
Oh, as Fantone.
Fucking hell. Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah.
Harry, Landlocked. What's happening to that brewery?
I don't see Landlocked because they're like, you know, he sells to people like Optimism, and I don't buy from Optimism. So I've seen Mike one or two times this year. I've randomly bumped into him Clink one Saturday afternoon.
Those beers that you shared with us, me and Rubo, they were really good.
Yeah, well, he's awesome at the funky stuff. He just does some brilliant. I haven't tried any of his like standard English styles.
Yeah.
All of his funky stuff has been awesome. But yeah, so that would probably be like number two. But number one has to be from Swansea, which is Zwanzee, Cantillon's mannequin piss, as I call it, mannequin peas. So that's 5.5% Gers, and
this year.
This year.
Is that like what was that like a Earl Grey type thing, or some type? It's a certain type of like a tea infusion.
That was matured in Italian wine barrels from Chianti, Amarone, and Sangiovese. And so I had far too much of that this year.
I've had far too much Vans. Get out.
But yeah, so Clink obviously they did their Swansea, and then they had I think I had 2 kegs of it, and we had a secret keg line in Clink. If you knew what it was, you could order it, and it basically was just completely. There was nothing on. You know, there was a big space gap on the line, and no one really knew what it was. But I was being there when they put it in. I was like, yeah, I'll have the secret beer. And secret beer at secret prices, and for secret people. And that was definitely top heavy. It was just, I don't really go for sours a lot, but when I do, when I go for sours, I go and Clink because I know they're going to be well looked after and a lot of people drinking them. And yeah, it's just had quite a few thirds of it and really, really enjoyed the stuff. But yeah, that's definitely top for me. A random one.
Yeah, you fancy bastard. Jake, what you got?
Well, mine's going to seem just so lame and tame now, but it was one of my standout beers of Hop City, and it still sticks with me now. And it was Whiplashes Northern Lights Micro IPA. It's like 2.9% IPA, and it stuck its head above the sort of swimming pool of all those massive double IPAs. It really did sort of like just lodge itself in my mind, and I couldn't get it out. And I mean, I even loved it on can. It was a damn good beer, and that sort of epitomizes my year. That beer does really. I want super sessionable, super drinkable, and it was just so good. And it was a masterclass of what you can do at that ABV.
Yeah,
it really was. It shows you don't have to go to like 10%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get to revisit all the beers that we forgot.
Absolutely.
There's so many beers that we've had this year. I'm guessing there's some that you can't see right now, but when Jake highlights something that he had done this year,
Yeah.
it probably highlights a lot of stuff.
That's it. It speaks volumes, doesn't it? Peter, have you got anything in mind?
I've got 2 beers, and I'm not too sure which one's going to be the runner-up. But the first contender was Noah from Omnipollo, which had at Ply, and that was just magic in a glass. But I actually think my favourite international draft was the Prenzlauer smoked Doppelbock from Stone Berlin, which I sampled in one of Stuart's favourite drinking establishments in Liverpool. Dead crafty, with the most the most non-judgmental staff you will ever meet.
Jeez, yeah.
And it was so good that I actually ended up getting a crowler because it was just an absolutely gorgeous example of a smoked Doppelbock.
Yeah. What?
But yeah, that's it really. So it's a bit of a toss-up between the hype of Noah, even though Noah's probably dropped off on the hype scale since then. Not that it matters.
No.
But yeah, so that's probably at this point the 2 that I would put up there.
Yeah, or whatever they call it now. It's changed it, didn't they? They've the name. AO.
It's
AON now, isn't it? Because fucking Omnipollo and their beer names. What did I see today? I saw there were another. What the fuck was it? I'm thinking, oh yeah, there's another beer called that. Should I tell him? There's so many beer names that are used by multiple breweries. It's okay.
Yeah.
There's probably not any fucking overlap in your audience. Batemans and Omnipollo. I don't think they really can have. That's oil and water, isn't it? Really, I mean, I'm not sure they really mix that often. But whatever. So that was Keg. So rounding off our international section. Best international brewery. As I've been slightly predictable in this category, I'll go. Equilibrium. I mean, I just had a bunch of their stuff. I've had it on draft. I've had a bunch of cans. So I do. I've really enjoyed everything I've had. Why did they get a boo? Oh well, unlucky. Sorry, on your fucking 19 trips to America, you didn't have one brewery that I had in Leeds. Yeah, so I was a bit kind of between all these 3. I was kind of up in the air a little bit, but I'm going to Equilibrium. Other half, I had a bunch of their stuff, mainly festivals. I had a few cans here and there, but I think they are they are hype for a good reason. It's good shit. You can't deny it. And probably the one that I've drank more than any is, and Jake's gone now while I'm making a point that he's agreed with, was Whiplash. I've drank fair bit of Whiplash but mainly cans, and like their peach, their lemon sorbet. I mean, just like their extra. I mean, top to bottom, I think they make some great beer, especially their kind of hop forward stuff. I think is damn good. So I think they definitely deserve a mention. And as their Republic of Ireland, that makes them international.
Yeah.
So there you go. Unlucky. Who are we going to go to? I'm going to pick Brett's. So your top international brewery.
Well, it's a tie because and also honourable mention would be Demolin and Keys, because working with them two was basically amazing. The guy Demolin encouraged us to drink more. Just because he wanted to get the kegs emptied and put on new beer. And then the Keys guys, out of nowhere, they hand me fudge caramel stout, and I was like, "Cheers, bud." But yeah, working with them too was just amazing. And for runners up would be Beer Republic, one of the best finds of, I thought. Oh, and also Lord Chambray, while I'm talking about Malta, actually. Both of them are solid breweries. Shame about Lord Chambray that they can't actually get their beers to England. As much. Well, we know one person who gets Lord Chambray because he gets sent it. Twat. But yeah, Lord Chambray needs to hit England a bit more harder. Their beers are amazing, and same with Beer Republic, their barley wine. When you're in the sun in Malta, you thought you'd have a wise idea. Oh, let's not have a 10.1% beer. But in my case, yeah, let's do it. Challenge accepted.
Establishing a pattern here.
Yeah. I wanted to get another bottle of it, but my girlfriend was like, "No, one is enough, and plus you've had some strong IPA beforehand, so by them, no." Oh, another sorry, I'm remembering Malta a little bit. Tripator, if you can pronounce that, a Belgian one. There, I've forgotten what beer it was. But I just like their glass, which I kind of borrowed and not gave back.
Liberated.
And
Yeah.
yet to return. They'll get it back eventually.
Yeah. I feel so bad for the guy who served us because he was so nice. He gave us drinks before the happy hour started, and we sat down to have our meal. And he comes along and goes, "I'm sorry, guys, I'm knackered. I've been up since 3 a.m. I'm going to have a nap, and I'll be back about 7 o'clock. If you're here, I'll give you a free drink." We weren't there, obviously. We went back to the hotel, but he was really nice to us, and that made my holiday in Malta.
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, advice to anybody is if you've got a nice glass,
Yeah.
it's going to get nicked. Okay? That's just how it works.
Yeah. So make ugly glasses if you want to keep.
I'll show you it.
Shit glasses.
Yeah.
With like no branding on it.
Yeah, just go to IKEA.
Yeah. Really crap dimple mugs. Not for ages and ages. That was North Bars glass. Dimple mug. Who's going to get that shite? Yeah. Peter, who have you got for your top international brewery?
Top international brewery would probably be Mikkeller San Diego. So I definitely think it's the best brewery that falls under the Mikkeller umbrella. And I have got to try quite a few really good beers from them. I mean, my year kicked off with the Beer Geek breakfast. I can't remember which one it was, but that was like the silkiest stout I've probably had for a long time. And just the ones I've got to experience have just been fantastic. Minus the odd sort of a little bit too young IPA that found its way to me. But aside from that, really impressed with Mikkeller San Diego and Harry's impression of the Misfits.
How's you been distracting, Harry? What have you got?
It's either... Well, it's Trillium, isn't it? I mean, other half definitely comes like a close second because I've we got to the point I've said no more other half because I've had enough for 1 year. But yeah, it's definitely Trillium. I mean, I'm getting some new cans next week as well, which I've heard are very, very good. Maybe because I missed my lot last time because I sold them all. But yeah, so I definitely say Trillium. It's just been every single beer I've had has just been that one little step above other half. And I haven't had, only had 6-7 beers from this year, but it's been just fantastic every single one, and obviously with Farnsworth as well. Yeah, that'd be me. I think a close one I've only had one beer from was the Zagavor, which I had with Peter, who is not here currently.
But since you said Trillium, he fucked up.
Yeah. But yeah, so when Peter came over a couple of weeks back, we had for our bottle share, a super mega bottle share that wasn't so super or mega. we had one beer. We had at the end was Akavor, and it was what was it? It was it was a Goes. I've got a weird fondness for sours. It was all summer in a day. Was it a Goes or was it a saison? It was a sour. It was a Goes. So yeah, that was just crazy good. Lovely 7 IBUs. Yeah, passion fruit, and it's just awesome. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. Because that'll be like a close runner up. But, yeah, Trill for sure.
All the Trills. Stuart, who's your number 1 international brewery?
I had a picture of it, and I'll give you a can of it. It was that Don't Swan. It was like, I'm trying to find the name of the brewery. Night Shift.
Night Shift.
Night
Yeah,
Shift
went there
Brewery.
as well. If you didn't realise.
Me and my friend, after a night out in Boston, basically we ended up with this one establishment we weren't going to go to. There were 2 other establishments, Cheeky Monkey Brewery, which was really good food. If you give it a chance, Cheeky Monkey Brewery.
Cheeky Monkey Brewery. Terrible.
That's horrible.
But anyway, Night Shift, awesome people, and everything that we sampled on tap was just bang, 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 money. Really good. It was better than anything from Trillium. So good, I brought
Harry Meadows, poof.
So good, I brought a can what stood out the best, and that I'll give it to Rob.
It was good. It was damn good. I've got to say, it was very, very good. Not as good as Trillium, but you know what it is.
It was
really good. Yeah, it was really good. It was. It kind of struck that balance. It had bitterness.
Yeah.
American hazy IPA with bitterness. Whatever's going to happen next.
That's what stood out because it was so good. Because of that element, that it was just Nice Shift. Yeah, really. Search for all the big breweries I visited.
Yeah. I know it takes a long time, doesn't it? Yeah, whatever. Jake, what you got, mate?
My runner-up would be Lervig, and that's because they haven't actually done too much this year in terms of like hype stuff, which has been a bit strange. But that Lervig one is purely based on our Good Beer Live-ish episode that we did at 10:30 in the morning in a Ibis hotel room.
Massively hungover.
Yeah.
Did you try that orange?
And before like we tried, like we were drinking them, I was like, I'm not up for this. This is like, I don't think I can drink these beers. And as soon as we started drinking them, I was like, yeah, I'm fine now. These beers are like that good. Like it has just knocked my hangover out, and like, that was really good. So that was my runner-up. But like on my theme of drinkability and balance and everything like that, I've gone for Collective Arts. Because they sort of like a load of their cans like inundated our shores, and I got a selection. I got like a session IPA, porter, double IPA, and a sour, and they were just all just bang on. They weren't like going to rock your world. They weren't like the best beers you've ever had, but just in terms of like really well made beer, that they were really good.
Absolutely.
So collective, and also that's based on their collabs, like their Guavarita Vice that they brewed with Magic Rock, and even the Brute IPA that they brewed with Cloudwater was damn good. So,
of course, yeah. I've read something else from, which was the Collective Arts collab recently as well, and I completely didn't realise it was. What was it now? Can't remember. Go on my YouTube channel. It's been posted. I was like, oh, right, it was. I didn't realise that we with Collective Arts. Now I don't want to know. I'm going to do the boring bit where I actually boring bit when I go and fucking do some internet searching. But yeah, cool. Very good, very good. I'm just turning my phone back on because it had all gone off. See now, onto the big one. Until we get onto like a bunch of kind of like slightly secondary kind of like categories, kind of could sign up for this. But best overall beer.
Jeez.
Yes, well, I'll give you a little bit of time to think about it, Stu. But I think I set my style out quite early on in this one, and it's Northern Monk Kentucky Shire Breakfast Stout. I mean, it's something that I've had as standalone beers. I've probably had better beers, and I've probably mentioned a bunch of them, but it was something that I bought multiple cans of. Something I drank my draft a bunch of times as well throughout the year. I mean, when it's appeared, I've always had it, and I've always enjoyed it. It's my kind of beer, and not an IPA, but I mean, that was absolutely stunning, and really kind of changed my opinion on a lot of dark beers that we're having from Northern Monk, which were a bit fucking cherry-fied and a bit full of the characteristics of dried British yeasts, which annoy the arse out of me. But that was absolutely stunning. I loved it. So that's pretty predictable. But so, Jake, what are you going to go for beer of the year?
My overall beer of the year is based on the amount of it I brought, and it is. And it's a bit of a. I've had a bit of a renaissance with this beer.
This year.
No, well, that probably is the beer I've brought most, but it's not far off. It's Fuller's London Porter, which is quite a surprise. But it's because at the start of the year, basically, I started a new job, and it's right near a Waitrose, and they sell Fuller's London Porter there. So I was like, I'll give that a go again, and I drank it, and I was like, holy crap, that's a good beer, and it's just literally been in my fridge like probably weekly ever since. So there's no hype beer. It's just I rediscovered a beer that I've had many times before, but always sort of not poo-pooed, but it was just a bit of a nothing beer, and but yeah, I rediscovered it, and it's been in my fridge ever since. So that's going to be my beer of the year.
Yeah, take that one. Or everybody
Exactly.
predicting shit.
Yeah,
you're going to go. Oh, what's he going to say? He's going to say Burn Mill again, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I took best overall beer in a different angle, but I wasn't going to put landlord. I wasn't going to put landlord.
Don't upset me. Fucking all that bullshit. Fucking landlord. Whatever. I'll take you. I'll take you around Keithley. I'll buy you multiple pours of landlord. And you'll probably get one what's nice. The rest of it will be absolute dog shit.
Yeah. True.
So exactly. There you go. That's a man who knows. Not all these people on Twitter saying it's bullshit.
Just no. Oh my God, no. Yeah.
Exactly.
And also,
people on Twitter who live down south who are romanticising Timothy Taylor's life.
And even when it's good, it's not actually that good.
All right, lad, come now.
I see Ram Tam's a nice beer. You're going to talk about Timothy Taylor. Ram Tam. Or whatever gold. There's a working man's club in the middle of Keighley. That's pretty good. I can't remember. Anyway, less of all that bullshit. Anyway, so Brett, what are you going to go with?
It's a three-way tie, actually.
No, you're not allowed to have a three-way tie.
All this
Well, it has to be because I can't decide honestly.
We'll be able to rule them all.
It is Beavertowns and Verdant's Shut Up and Play the Hits. Beavertowns and Cloudwater Do Not Open 85. And Vibrant Forest Pooper.
Okay.
If I blended them all together, that would be a fucking amazing beer.
Why are you? I blend my beers all the time. Stop carrying.
Yeah.
But it'd have to be maybe the Vibrant Forest has to be the Oreo filling. But yeah,
Okay. I'll let you off. Well,
I can't really go.
You're not going to make up your mind.
Yeah, because I got Beavertown and I got Beavertown collaborations, which personally, when I saw Verdant, I was like, okay, I haven't had a Verdant beer. This is for I have had pulp, but I can't. The memory wasn't fresh. I couldn't remember what it tastes like or whatever. And then I was like, okay, Verdant. I'm going to give it a go and test the water with one of my favorite breweries. So I got obviously shut up and shut up and play the hits then. And I was like, okay, need to get myself some more Verdant. So that kind of lead me on, and I already knew what Cloudwater tasted like, and then obviously really nice. And also, I'm a bit biased with Vibrant Forest because I did sales pitch for that beer, so that's the reason why I'm so like. I wouldn't say just one.
Yeah. Fair enough. I'll let you off. Harry?
A close second, firstly, was Daya, one of those Peter and I had. Peter, well, you're still not here. I see your jumper hanging on the line, so that was a yuzu. In fact, Dean had this as well when Peter and I had it on the Friday night in Clink. Just grabbed a can, and Josh was doing a can share, and we had it there. And it's a yuzu. I think it's yuzu IPA or something.
Oh, is that Daya?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was just stupid good. And if you didn't know what yuzu tasted like, now I knew what yuzu tasted like. That was just so nice, and it was just lovely and refreshing. Lovely beer. What's that? Sorry.
Little lemons for posh folk.
That's what it is, essentially. Like Waitrose lemons. But yeah, definitely top beer was one I had just the other day, which was Leviathan next week as well. Which is
you dropped out at the moment of
Leviathan.
Yeah, so Leviathan, it's Mr. Hogman, Chris Hogman's brewery, which he's just started up. And yeah, it's a Now I Lay Thee Down, which is a barley wine, and it's not my normal sort of beer. I don't really like barley wines. I think it's possibly because I haven't had a good barley wine. It definitely is because I haven't had a good barley wine until this one the other day. It's not a beer I'm going to regularly drink, of course. It's like 12.5 or 12.8% or something like that. But it just had so much flavour and so many different flavours going on in there. And this is a guy who's brewing stuff off a 100-litre kit. So a tiny little homebrew setup. Yeah. And he's just banging out crazy beers. Like, I think I sent Peter. Did I give you Life is Peachy? And I gave you.
Yeah, he did. You gave me Life is Peachy, and then he gave me an Imperial Stout by someone else. Can't remember which.
I don't remember. But yeah, Life is Peachy. That was another crazy one. He did
that was really good.
Well. But yeah, so everything I've had from Chris has been brilliant. So I'm looking forward to doing a collab soon or next week. Table Weiss beer.
Oh, slightly different.
Table Hopfenweiss.
As it appears that Peter's accessorizing his beer and his outfits. We'll go over to him in a moment. What you need actually just to make the perfect combination between your black can and your black shirt is you need a visible gold chain.
Oh yeah, I need a medallion.
That would be a beautiful thing.
I need
to start doing your
a white cravat.
Yeah, the can and your outfit. I love it's something slightly really offensive about like a chain over like a garment. It's something.
Oh yeah, there's something so disrespectful but satisfying about that.
That's why I hate mayors. Any mayors.
Yeah.
Mares and Mr. T. So Peter, beer of the year.
Beer of the year. Honourable mention would be Moncada's Impy Custard, which was like that was to me Omnipollo peak, but like half the price. It was genuinely one of the most the sludgiest and actually textured sort of imperial stouts that I've had. So that's up there. But I think my favourite beer would have to be Infinity Vortex.
Yes.
I can't think of any beer that's topped that for me in terms of just. I mean, I tried it in can, pretty much fresh, and then when we were in Huddersfield, they had it still on keg, which was a little bit. Well, it was quite a bit past its release date.
They want it, yeah.
But that was still tasting wonderful.
It was difficult not to say that beer, to be honest.
Yeah.
Stuart, have you decided what beer of the year will be?
Well, again, I just go back and back on all the different pictures that I've had. There was a Christmas beer that I shared with Ari, but he's not here. At a walking distance from a brewery near him, which was good, but again, it was the company. I was in Mad Murders. It's like one of the top gay pubs in all of America, and I had Pleasure Beach, which was really good. I mean, the fact that you're in a gay club and there's actually craft beer, because you won't think it. But that was tasting good, and everything that was on the bar was good. What label be that? Just saw. The left-handed giant Stillwater Dutch Matrix. That was really good.
Cherry and something, cherry and chocolate stout, was it something?
I'm just looking on pictures now. Well, Aaron, what was that beer that we had that tiny little brewery next to your house?
Bias.
Yeah, Bias. We had a really good beer there. I can't remember what it was called. I think it was like Xmas or something.
Yeah, Triple Xmas.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Shocking.
I had Richmond Lager, which was really good. I shared that with Gavin. But again, if it's what's that?
That little stubby lager.
Yeah, that was really good. Gavin's.
And all your trips to America.
Right. But if it was to knock it all off, it'd be a tie. Plus, it's like the Swan and that barley wine I had. Just a lot of other breweries. I had a ton of other amazing beers. But
cool.
Yeah, that Swan and that barley wine.
Absolutely fantastic, super. So that's the meat of the broadcast. All the rest are all they're kind of miscellaneous or a bit of fun. They're not quite as important as the other ones, but I mean worth servicing. If you ask me, you've got to do this shit.
do we have any comments before we go on to the next one?
You have some. Really been encouraging.
Honourable mention, what was that beer that we all shared at Huddersfield Week Festival? That can, and we killed that. No brought it.
It was a version of Michelob. I think you should bring back the curtains. It's
amazing how many beer styles, hairstyles you can get through.
Yeah.
Let's call it curtains. Is making a comeback in Brum. Yeah, so we've got some comments. So
has curtains ever left, Brum?
Evening Cloudwater India Porter was great on cask. I heard that from some people, a bunch of people actually. When Cloudwater reintroduced cask to the country.
Invented cask this year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Then Greg Bullman says, best Hamilton Crunch out. I would completely agree. Then we have message.
If I get Stuart's foghorn.
Yeah.
And then Greg Bowman then says, "Will it be on hang on. I'm going through the comments. Shut up. What did we have for that? They have done this year Unreal Best Brewer. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think we'll be on doing a shout. Martin Harris says, while my tops right now, I'll also give a shout out to traditional Burton Bridge. Are the brewery local to me who has always brewed great beer. I also love Wonder Beyond Bloom especially. Yeah, but that's quite contrasting. Yeah, Burton Bridge. It's a long time since I've heard from those guys.
Get them in spoons now.
Oh, really?
Spoons, yeah. I saw Stairway to Heaven, I think it is, the other day, and they've got another one in there as well.
The Bramble.
Bramble Stout, isn't it?
It's good, yeah.
Both of them in spoons. I was like, that's a step back to like a few years ago.
One of the first beers I've interviewed. Beautiful artwork, and they had the old cardboard thing that you had to etc. Did you drink a lot of it with Jason Potts one time, and you just end up worse for wear?
Yeah, I did actually. I remember that. Yeah, Jason. I'd never go and drink with Jason after that.
No. Just don't. It drinks and drinks and drinks and drinks and drinks. He's like a 7 foot tall man.
Shut up! You're wittering on about some dude nobody knows. Thomas McCarthy says hi, and he says, "Drinks and Whiplash cream on chrome." Something a bit unpleasant about the term cream on chrome. Cream all of that chrome. Oh no! Anyway, then we've got Mark K says beer of the year, Super Duper Deluxe Stout from New Bristol Brewery. Brilliant variation on Super Deluxe Stout. Not a brewery that I'm familiar with. Maybe it's not a UK Bristol.
Maybe it's the American Bristol.
Maybe
it's New Bristol.
It's New Bristol.
Yes, whoever the New Bristol Brewery.
That doesn't help.
Then Thomas McCarthy says 200 Fathoms 2017 really good beer. So that's their barrel aged Imperial Stout. I've not had that version. I've had it in the past. And then Luke Chelsea 26 says, "Where is Real Ale Guide?" Lol. I was going to invite Simon, but and then I thought he'd be busy. I think he usually does like family stuff on a Saturday. And I don't think he'd be that well prepared, to be honest. Yeah, actually, yeah, exactly. Stuart's much more prepared than Simon will be. I want him to do a best of Lidl microwave foods. That'd be that's the questions I want answering from Simon. And then finally, Matt Kane says, Cloudwater Yandaro coffee thing was my favourite of 2018. Quite underrated. Yes, that was the Imperial Brown. That was nice, that. I do remember it. I like an Imperial Brown Ale. I like brown ale.
That's why I got you brown ale from Washington.
Newcastle.
Not been a trendy bastard. Nobody buys brown ale. That's the problem, isn't it? Anyway.
I bought you brown ale.
No, I like brown ale.
Brown ale.
I've got a brown ale in my cellar from like a coconut brown ale.
Okay.
Sure.
So, brilliant. Thanks. I'm going to say best design. I'll set you off on that, and it's a tricky one. This is one. It's a tricky one. I'm going with Left-Handed Giant. I really like what those guys do. I think it's quite unique. I think it's pretty obvious it's them. I think the quality of the artwork's really good, and it kind of like play around within the style a bit. I think it's really good. Do like them. And then my runners up at North. I love what I think it's called Richard. The guy who does it all. No, I forgot his name. Is it John? Might be John. From Refold. I love it. I'd buy a fucking t-shirt that had that on it. Gold print on a black t-shirt. Nice.
That's bold.
Exactly. and then also another month for the Patrons Project stuff. I mean,
Yes,
think it's
I was going to mention that.
it's a real
Yeah.
game changer. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's changed kind of like what beer looks like in the UK is not Patrons Project.
I do think it's funny that no one's copied the rollout
It's got
label.
like 30p a pop. That's why.
Yeah.
I know Pure did it with the collaboration series.
Oh, did they? When they got that
Money.
big beer money.
I have to say, Full Pure for me it's got to be one of it's the breweries of the year for me in terms of.
Yeah. I love Full Pure.
Yeah, I mean I've just had the Fraser, the Full Pure Thornbridge collab, which I can't get enough of at the moment. So much so that someone has just fallen off the back of a lorry and just fell into my hands, and I managed to get to 24 bottles of the stuff.
You shoplifted it.
Do you actually buy beers, Harry?
I noticed he was drinking around the bottle as well, like a right scumbag. Comes in here drinking and then swinging it out of the bottle.
But yeah,
contraband.
I'll start putting it in like a brown paper bag as well. But no, I think Full Pure. I think I really enjoyed the beers I've had from them this year. I had a few at a festival, and which I'm going to name soon. And then just also, the cans that you can get in the supermarché. I mean, just the availability of it all is brilliant, and it's actually not bad beer. It's pretty decent for what it is and the price you're getting it at. So pretty happy with that.
Oh, see, fair enough. That's a good idea actually. If we go kind of like just chip in where you want with these next kind of categories. Less formal for these ones. Anybody else on the design bit then?
For me, it's
Which side?
oh, you go, Shu.
You've gone.
Well, only because I need to go to the toilet. Which side and Wylam, because they're very creative with the labels, and I need to go to the toilet.
I'll go now. Here he comes. What's he doing now? He didn't do anything. Oh, yeah. So he could hear his shit. Just go. Anyway, my branding or artwork or whatever, it has to be Burnt Mill for me. Their Swimmer Giants one, which Rob mentioned earlier, was an absolute, probably my favorite label of the year, with that whale tail on the front, but also it rhymes. But like also like their cans are like so distinctive. They do that like free, like it's free colors that they like chop and change, and it's the same sort of layout. It's them, and so yeah. It's got to be it for me.
Sorry. Very audible burp.
Yes, like, at least we could hear some very audible pissing.
Yeah.
So Ridside and Wylam for me, because the shape from Wylam was super awesome beer, and the branding was really good, and timing was perfect because for Halloween, it had a Halloween kind of fitting vibe behind the label.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. Anybody else?
I'm going to go with Rob and say Northern Monk, their Patrons Project. I think not just in terms of the labels and branding itself, but also the concept behind it. But I will say, some of the best branding I saw was, I can't remember which box it was from Beer 52, but when you put all the bottles together, I think it's when they made a big push to promote artists as well as the beers that they were brewing. It just worked brilliantly from bottle to bottle. But I think Northern Monk Patrons Project is probably, and in fact, the whole branding in general.
I want that glass.
I think they've done such a good
Steal
job.
your own.
Yeah, but of course,
when they did the Sharknado branding, and then all the other, call a different brand and went over there.
Did you hear about that Sharknado branding? Have you heard the thing about that with Tara Reid is like suing somebody because that she never like gave her permission to use the likeness on that can. So like she's like yeah. But it wasn't just that can, that was part of it. But it was like they've used the Sharknado people have used her likeness on other things.
Surely they've used currently existing promotional materials.
Yeah, well you'd think so, unless she never signed off for it to be. I think the point is it's sold on an alcoholic drink, and like she's saying, it's like she never gave her permission. Yeah, that's the one.
No, that's this side.
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't look like Tara Reid nowadays.
There's Sharknado.
Yeah, that's it.
Is she even on that label? Is that
Yeah.
Yeah,
She is.
blonde woman.
You know, she's one of the best ones to look on Google for.
She's not.
She's not.
No.
She's not. She's like Skeletor.
Honorable mention is this brewery.
Yeah, just rip it off the wall, Stu. It's okay.
Really rude.
And stick it on
Good artwork on the cans.
I think
Another Monkeys here. Big and Porter, not bad. Aberdeen, their branding's getting better.
Yep. Magic Rocks
what about
should be.
Wild Weather?
I think, I'm not so sure on their illustrations.
Oh god,
those
they're
Wild
ugly.
Weather ones.
They're ugly cans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate the font as well. The font on the Wild Weather cans.
It's like just make the border of the font a little bit smaller.
But
it's better than
then,
it used to be. The branding is better than it used to be. It's not my kind.
runner-up for branding would be Vibrant Forest and New Design.
I'm down. Let Brett's talking.
And also the runners-up is Vibrant Forest new efforts. They're pretty good actually.
Yeah, I do like Vibrant Forest's new brand.
Vibrant Ferrets.
But yeah. To be fair, I thought, oh, they're gonna just make it real tacky and stuff. And at first saw it looked really tacky because I'm used to like their traditional sort of thing, and then it just wore on me. And then I picked up a can of Bourbon October. I realised there's a skull in it. I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, and also I don't know why they're changing names, like different names, like to be all quirky. And some of them you can't even fucking say.
Right, Club.
Chick Club.
Yeah. The beer that fucking nearly killed me.
No, it's the instigator.
So,
just tap in with mine finally, quickly. Yeah, so I'd say Ridgeside again. That's Stu. I just love all the cans because it's full on acid. Muffin comparison, and I haven't had enough of their beers because I see them and then I just forget to buy them. And then also North as well. Same as you, Rob. I'd love a fucking t-shirt. So that's it. That is on the back of my laptop.
I know it is.
I want a t-shirt. That on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just lovely.
Missed opportunity for me. Gold print on a fucking black t-shirt. I'd be all over that bad boy. So next up, I've got Best Bar / Pub. For me, it's a bit of a tricky one because I don't drink out that much. But when I do, I drink. I do drink regularly at my local bottle shop, which is the Triangle in Shipley. I do drink them most Thursdays. So I'm going to say that, but I mean, one what really stands out for me is Kilda in Birmingham. I had a really good day in Birmingham, and that was a real standout. I mean, quality wise, and it's a nice feel to it. Just had a really good line and stuff. So it was just kind of like having it in the wall, which was full of meat. and it's just there's something so. I mean, if that was near me, I'd go there quite often. So that'd be. It's like the two opposites: my regular, and then one what I've been to once.
Mm-hmm. I haven't actually been to Kilda yet. I mean, whenever I go, I always go into Brom on a Friday evening after work, and I always go to Clink, because the thing about Clink is I can park up really close to it, have 3 beers and drive home. And then Kilda is like I have to walk the other way, and I can't really park super close to Kilda. And also the guy who I know who works at Kilda works at Clink on Friday night when he goes. So there's like my mate works in Clink, so there's no real. I wouldn't go in there and meet anyone and speak to. I also like the vibes of Clink. Clink is my pub bar of the year, because I literally live in there. I do an awful lot of trades with them, and might soon be supplying them as well. So, I love Clink because it's just great vibe. It's just I always go and just chat to barman and feel super comfortable. In there, it's no edgy vibes, and I think it's also because I'm a regular. So edgy vibes. Yeah, there's bare edgy vibes in other pubs in Brum, which I don't like. Like even like another one which is owned by the same guys who own Clink. So Rich owns Clink, he owns Paper Duck, and it's got a new one opening up in Moseley as well. And they've got the Paper Duck is Paper Duck is in. The Paper Duck's in Harborne, one open in Moseley, but one in Harborne, Paper Duck. I just find when I go in there, I'm like, I don't like it in here because it's just a little bit, it's just completely different to Clink, completely different people, and it's just not quite the same. So, but yeah, Clink's nice and cozy, and get a good chat because everyone's brewers.
Still down now, bringing in his fucking mini keg of Wainwright or Ribbon. I think that's what he's up to now.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm tempted by that keg of blue Pabst Ribbon.
I saw it. Right, because Harry said, go to B&M. So I went to B&M, and all that's on the other one. Wait a minute. J. Tilio, Iron Meadows. So I just bought it.
Yeah, until like mini cakes, you can get them in Tesco.
Yeah.
I saw them for £7.50. They were half price in my Tesco like a month ago.
Yeah,
it's Christmas side.
Yeah,
I paid £12.
they were reduced from £15. They were half price. So I don't think they're always £7.50.
But they just got shifted, and PBR just doesn't sell in my Tesco at all.
Well, it's because no one knows what it is over here.
Yeah,
no like in to the layman, layman lager drinker, they don't know what that is. Because it's blue, red, and white. They probably think it's like Tesco's like cheap, like lager.
I mean, people are only just getting used to Camden Hellers.
Yeah.
I think the one that you have to kind of compare it to is like Bud Light, though. Bud Light, when they brought that in, it came in via spoons. It went spoons first and then went to the supermarkets. And as a result, everyone kind of got bombarded with what Bud Light was. And I don't think anyone would have really known what Bud Light was before, before it came in. They did have a small idea about it, but as being
you hear about it on American TV shows and all that.
Yeah. At the same time, you hear about PBR being like the drinking hipsters. But yeah, it's. I don't think it just got anywhere near as much hype, and that's why I kind of envisaged it just dropping off. And the same with the Michelob that's just come in as well, and that's come in, and every single, if it was originally just Morrison's, now every single supermarket's got it. And that, if you want a light beer, that's a light beer. It's even lighter than Bud Light.
That used to be sold here quite a lot because my dad remembers it, and he said it was like that was a beer you looked out for if you saw like Michelob, and so they must have not sold it over here, and then now they've decided like we'll sell it again.
Let's change it completely from what it used to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's what 3.5 now. Same as Bud Light.
Oh, is it really? Bloody hell. Yeah, because am I thinking of Michelob Ultra? Is it the same way?
No, it's the same.
With the fag packet.
It literally looks like Marlboro Lights on one side.
It used to be just like 4 point whatever, didn't it? Like I don't think it was ever that.
Is that stuff imported or actually just brewed here?
Brewed here.
Yeah. It must be brewed here because I mean, even though they got the
Michelob now.
Michelob Ultra.
Fucking hell. It'll be brewed at Shepherd Neame or something, or like Miles.
Yeah, I mean, it's Shepherd Neame. I'm sure it's Shepherd Neame.
They do Stinger, don't they?
Yeah.
They do.
A few beers
I saw this in the fridge. I forgot about the branding. Burn and Sky, their branding is beautiful.
Burn and Sky's branding is really nice.
It is nice.
I mean, that
kind of like books of trend as well, doesn't it?
It includes foliage and artwork, and it's like three-dimensional.
Got all of beers that include foliage in the artwork.
Also, honourable mention is Founders that Jake mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
artwork is beautiful.
It's full enough.
Yeah.
It's full.
I mean, it's almost like out of one of our friends' paintings, Paul.
It's trying to derail.
Who's Paul?
Trying to derail the fucking thing there. Anyway, so if you want to go down that route, we do have best new bar. Does anybody have? I've got one for that. I don't know about anybody else.
One.
Yeah, and I think me and Peter might share the same one. So Peter, you go first.
Yeah, and there might be a sort of him, but they're a factory in Manchester, and that's also my favourite bar of the year because every time I've been in there, I've loved it. Gotta say,
I went in last Saturday and it was full of pissed up knobheads. Actually,
gotta say, stumbled across Beatnik Republic's bar, which I never knew existed, and they've got a nice little setup as well.
Yeah, it's new. It's on a bit.
Where are they based?
It's
Manchester.
really, it's the bar is just around the corner from. Northern
Yeah, it's literally just a 30-second walk from Northern Monk. So
yeah, I didn't have time to go the last week, but yeah. Well, you're gonna go to better ones tomorrow, Peter. Don't you worry. Anyway.
Is that new bars, or basically new bars to you?
I'd say new bars, like new ones that appeared.
Way Out Rat Brewery in Southbourne's pretty good, but same.
Tap and Bottles in Southport.
Ooh.
That's where I got a bottle of Bellwoods.
Snazzy.
And they were doing a raffle for a bomber of Pliny the Elder in a Russian River bomber with T-shirts and other merchandise. And it's like, that's in Southport.
Anybody else any new bars in your area? What you're enjoying?
Well, back to when you said about favourite bar.
Sorry.
My local Saxon bar, awesome staff. Well in the know. Obviously, I go in there most Mondays to Fridays. But yeah, I don't have to go in there, and they know what I want anyway, because I message them beforehand. So as soon as I go in,
like a cheers situation when you walk into the
Brett.
Yeah, literally, if the regulars are in there, they're like, "All right, Brett, how are you doing? What have you been up to?" And it's one of those not clicky bars.
I was there yesterday. You knew that.
It's not a clicky bar. It's just
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's in the middle of our like town, so yeah, like a load of walks of life. Like I met my sister's ex-best mate in there, and I didn't think she liked. I didn't think she liked beer or whatever, and she's like, "Oh, I'm not on beer. I'm on wine." But my other half normally drinks lager, and we thought, "Oh, we're stopping here. We haven't been in here." And by the time he left, he was converted to IPA. Like, I've forgotten what it is.
Good work. Yeah.
Cheat Code. I can't remember the brewery.
Rings a bell.
Is that Elusive or someone like that?
Yeah, that sounds
That
about
would
right.
make sense. That would make sense.
Yeah, he was drinking that and he was converted. And he said, "I'm definitely coming back in here again." It's like, "Do it, mate. You should." And my sister's ex-mate said, she was like, "Oh yeah, we're definitely coming here. I like the wine." And there's her like trying to slurp it down. And I was like, "Yeah, I bet you like the wine." But yeah, it's but when you go in there, it's very much, you go in there, you don't just get a drink. People are talking, and then you hear the conversation. You go, "Oh, let me speak to them," but they don't bite at you. They let you engage.
Yeah.
And perfect example is I was playing Scrabble the other day with my mate, and we were struggling really hard. And this old couple comes along and just comes in and goes, "Oh yeah, you could put blah blah blah," and I was like, "Okay," but it is a very friendly bar.
I think that's it. That's definitely like a thing, isn't it? That's a thread.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Sorry, Harry said. Stuart and Jake, anything to offer?
Well, Little Earth Project took over the pub that their brewery, the land that their brewery's on. They took over the pub that is like beside it, and Little Earth Project's brewery is in the arse end of nowhere in Suffolk. You can't even get a bus to it. That like buses don't go there, but they brought the pub, which was really ultra trad pub, and now it's like this little haven of like ridiculous sour beer, and like the like beers they decide to put on. They still like cater for, so they have like real cider, and they just still have like 4 like real ale things, pulling adnams and that sort of thing. But like this beer, like this to have this bar, like it is a bit of a drive, and someone has to drive you to it. Like there's no other way of getting there, unless, because they have like a campsite and that sort of thing. So I assume that's how they think they're going to make their money. Is having those like people stuck on site. But like it's awesome to have this thing in the middle of nowhere selling this like ridiculous beer.
Must be said, the hotel is, or the sort of villa sort of thing that they've got. It's ridiculously cheap.
Yeah, it's like little camping pods and all that sort of thing.
Yeah,
and like cabins.
They got proper like houses sort of thing. It's like £60 a night or something, and it's like £60 a night. I'd happily pay that to stay on site with Little Earth Project crazy beers, and your pub there as well. I'd love to do. I know one of my friends, she's done it, and she said it was just she was a paper ducking club, in fact, and she said it's just like. It's fantastic. She went for a long weekend and went 2 nights in there and loved it.
So. I mean, you're sort of stuck there, but there's like loads of like there's a few other pubs and restaurants you can like walk to, and there's loads of like stuff to walk around. But it must be awesome.
Mm-hmm. I'd love to do it.
You should recommend that to my brother, because that sounds like something he'd enjoy.
Yeah.
Because he does post a lot of that kind of material. So we got a link. Send it to my brother.
Will do.
Cool. So, best shop, I'm gonna say. Sounds it's gonna get a bit predictable. The Triangle, because it's up the road, and it's like where
I'm train strikes. Have no choice.
And my mate owns it, and it's ace. But one of the big things, it's really welcoming. I think that's probably a lot of people have said that. I mean, somewhere that's really welcoming. I think that plays a big role in the place that you'll go back to time and time again. I mean, I'll go to places that I don't really love because, I mean, like the beer's good. I mean, I'm not mentioning any places in Leeds, but I think we all know which I mean. Yeah, he's a knobhead. But then the other one is New Trembling Madness in York on Lendal, which is fucking.
Ian doesn't like it.
Who?
Ian Garrett doesn't like it.
Oh, fucking hell. What does he like? Like anything. But I mean, I was there on my works do the other on Tuesday.
I know you son of a.
Yeah. 24 different beers, can't complain. Of that. And then, I mean, and a great bottle shop and pretty well priced, to be honest, as well. So, I mean, it's where I go on my lunchtime. I have a nosy around. What new stuff have they got in? Going like a complete craft beer wank pot. Going, I'm not bothered about beer that's been on the shelf for 2 weeks. I just want the new stuff. So they are my favorite shops this year. What about anybody else?
Say mine's got to be Simply Local in Burntwood, because that's the place where all the juice comes from. So it's like, it's funny because it's like a normal off license and just normal sort of like corner shop, and then he just turned it into like a craft beer haven. For me it's so much better than Cotteridge. And it's so much better than Sturtsy Wines. I think the only thing is he doesn't get the hype as much because he's new and hasn't been doing it for donkey's years. But he's got he's worked on this deal for 6-7 months, trying to get a decent trader to get all these cans over. And then literally anyone I suggest, like Farmyard Ales, for example, I want to get some Farmyard Ales in. I literally just said Farmyard Ales, put his name in, and then he goes, yeah, I'll have some. They spoke direct to Farmyard and then ordered like 2 cases straight away. So he'll get, if anything you want, he'll get it in. And then he'll just do plenty of promotion on it and you'll get rid of it. I work really, really closely with him on quite a lot of things, and we're nigh on bloody business partners. But no, he's just a really, really fantastic shop. And if you're wondering where Kevin Fenton, of all people, is getting a lot of his juice from, that's the guy. So he does a lot of distro now. He doesn't have an online shop or anything. He just puts it all up on Facebook and then boxes it up and then sends it. So really good bottle shop.
I see.
For me would be Super Save Wines in Westbourne. The guy Tran, lovely guy. He knows his beers really well, and he just gets these beers from somewhere. I don't know where, but he just floods like breweries that you've never heard of before. He doesn't get all the hype ones. He just gets the ones that goes, oh, I like the sound of that. And then second shop on the list would be Beautiful Beers in Bury St Edmunds. When I walked in that place, it was welcoming, and I've never really seen that much Belgian beer in my life. And I just wanted to grab every bottle because obviously I haven't tried much Belgian beer, and I had a bit short of money, so I really didn't know what to pick up. But this guy was like talking me all the way through it and whatnot. Obviously, you've got English beers and American ones, but it is definitely, if you want to go for Belgian beer, that is the place to go, I think.
They are really good. I mean, like, and also they're getting more into getting the craftier side of stuff. Like they put up bars at a lot of local events in Bury St Edmunds. So we were at this, I can't even remember what it was, earlier this year. Some like a fly past or some royal bollocks. I can't remember what it was. And they had like Daya on cask, and I was drinking that in the middle of a park in Bury St Edmunds.
Nice.
Daya on keg, sorry. They had an IPA and a Berliner Weiss.
Yeah, you can get
which is just crazy. And
yeah. You can get takeaways, can't you, from like keg or cask as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, they get some kind of, I do look at them on their online shop once in a while, and they do get some weird and wonderful bits and bats, don't they? I mean, stuff what you didn't even know were available.
Yeah, they get a lot like Fly Monkey and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like just random.
Lots of weird shit. Yeah, some random fucking Firestone Walker, like vintages and stuff.
Yeah.
4-year-old bottles of Firestone Walker.
Yeah, like Cigar City turns up quite a lot. It's strange. It's a strange shop, but it's really good.
I'm talking of Cigar City. I'm just opening a can of Highlight.
Okay.
Bloody lovely, I gotta say.
how I heard of beautiful beers. I think you told me, Jake, or maybe the guy from Pint Size, but I don't know who told me first. Because I was struggling to find some good beer when I was up there, and the only goodish beer that I found was when I went in Nutcracker and I had what was it? There's two beers and I can't remember. Oh, Abbott, yeah, and that was quite nice actually for an Abbott. Quite better than when I used to have my local down here, but yeah.
Abbott.
Mentioning Ollie from Pint Size, I did invite him to join us tonight, and he's got people around. It's like he said it's the one day of the year that he has to entertain, but he did say he'd watch us whenever he went to the toilet. So if it happens, Ollie, if you're on the toilet at the moment,
yeah, I was meant to have a.
How you doing?
I was going to have a beer with him when I was changing at Cambridge, because I had like half an hour change before I got to Bury St Edmunds. And I texted him like on Instagram, I'm in Cambridge, and he's like, I'm in Ely, fuck. So I was like, oh
yeah, he's moved down. So he's doing in Suffolk now, isn't he? But yes, I'm sure we'll get him on at some point in the future. So yeah, Stuart, you have not set out, and same applies to Jake if you want to say anything more than beautiful beers. As we all know, that'll be all our favourite beer shop in the world.
Yeah.
We'll go down for an opening. We'll do a big live thing, won't we? Clearly.
Yeah.
You just need to open it when Paul. You need to open it for when Paul comes over next year.
So there's been a plethora of different bottle shops I've visited from beginning of the year to right now in America and the UK.
Give us the
start
gist.
off the year, I took me to a really good bottle shop which showcased ciders, beers, and a tap room in the background.
What was that then?
There you go. Moving on, we were working at the brewery all week, and we overdrank one night. And
Peter's face. Sorry, Peter's got a real kind of look of disgust on his face. Like, what?
yes, we overdrank one night, which worked out to my benefit because the week after I was supposed to go to Scotland, but it was cancelled. So I had to go to an alternate destination, which was good because it's the second, probably the best bottle shop of the year that I went to was Buy Some Beer out of Brighton.
Buy some beer.
By the way, last minute entry into a potential beer of the year from Dare. Thanks to the hookup from Beer Bay, but you're on screen now. Double IPA. Just look at that. It's chicken stock.
For years, that's been trademarked.
Yeah.
You owe Jake 25 pence for use of.
I didn't say it. You said it.
I did it for you.
It doesn't work like that, Rob.
Yeah, it does.
Triangle, Rainbow, Beer House.
Northern Beer Temple.
Yeah, Miami there. What's the other one? I went to in Wales in New Hampshire. Was Tully's, and they did it. That's why I had main beer dinner and lunch on fresh. A few weeks old, well, a few days old. What else did I have? Triangle.
I think you've covered quite a few.
Yeah, go on.
So next one is best tap room. Ooh.
Easy.
I think Harry's gonna say
Yeah, not Twisted Barrel.
No, Jesus,
Healthy
no.
Kitchen.
Jesus.
That was dreadful. I don't kill myself.
To be honest, when Stuart and I went, it wasn't horrendous. When I took Peter there, it was shocking.
It was awful.
I think
It's like,
there was
I thought,
one beer.
am I drinking in a pharmacy?
Stuart, some of the beers we had there were actually not horrendous. Literally, there was one beer that we could drink, which wasn't bad.
Yeah,
they had 24 lines.
Yeah.
It was that bad. They had 2 hampers as well, which we didn't do, but 24 lines. Everything was shocking. And I spoke to one of the guys who runs Tilt afterwards. I spoke to him the next day, or a couple of days later even. And he said, yeah, one of those kegs, it was a Bexar County and Burning Soul collab, which was a New England IPA, which I found it tasted like Refreshers and like acid, and like battery acid, and smelled like cheese and vinegar. He said, he was like, yeah, we didn't put it on because it smelled like shit. And they were literally just putting stuff on. They were ordering it, putting it on because they get away with it. And they get bought it. So yeah, and it's just there's too much shit beer on there, and that sounds really good. And even on the stuff which they're doing themselves, I think someone even posted a picture of a can the other day. It was like an oxidized can. Yet, you say anything, it doesn't matter. Breweries, the brewers just tell you wrong. We're wrong. Opinion doesn't matter. So fuck you guys. But that was like, Twisted Barrel is definitely not my pub. New Tap Room of the year. I think New Tap. Well, it's not New Tap. It's just like a.
You want to make it that any more clear?
No, say it again. But yeah, so I'd probably say. So obviously went to of course City and did Northern Monk, but it wasn't really for the taproom day at all. But I'd probably say Bryant's, to be honest, because it's so handy for me and it's a nice feel about it. Okay, the beers are very trad, but they have one really good beer on the moment, which is the espresso stout or espresso porter, I think it is. And I think Dean and I and Peter had that, and I thought I've had it a few times now, and it's really good. They're dark beers, they nail. Lighter beers taste like copper coins, but everyone's good at something.
Not everybody, from what you said.
Some people are good at some things.
Oh God, sorry.
Yeah. Well, I liked that breakfast stout I had. As far as tap rooms go, my personal favourite at the moment is Cloudwater's new one at Unit 9, which is the new one next to the brewery. I like it. I mean, beer's always spot on. It's not a bad price for what you're buying. Despite thankfully this time round they didn't have the meditation tape running in the toilets, which was false.
Yeah, that was a bit.
But I mean, there's a nice atmosphere in there. It's not kind of like, I mean, I were in Manchester on last Saturday. Went to North Monk. It was fucking nuts. It was full of pissed up idiots. Went to Track, which is like they just got to pop up in this mill, which it's really hard to find, and there's like nobody in it, and it was just like I just felt a bit uncomfortable. But then we went to Cloudwater and we were like, oh, this is nice. I mean, it's kind of as warm as you can in a barrel store, and I mean the beer's really good and it's well priced and there's a nice atmosphere. There's plenty of people in, but it's not too busy, so it kind of ticks a lot of boxes, and it's not as fucking cold as the barrel store used to be as well, because that used to be intensely cold, especially this time of year. So I'd say at the moment, Magic Rock is the measuring stick. I mean, and we went to Jake and Craig went to the Verdant and Pressure Drop Experiment, and that was okay. That was decent. But I mean, I think what Cloudwater are doing at the moment, I think is damn good. Like downstairs, they've got a shop where they've got like a cold store for all the cans and stuff. So it's really well thought out, and they've done a good job of it. And I'll happily go back every time I'm in Manchester. So,
For me, would be Drop the Anchor, as always. Just because when you go in there, you go in the time machine, you get yourself a pint of some nice quirky porter that if he has on. At the moment, he's got a cold pressed coffee stout, real milky and juicy. But
I love that juicy milk.
but yeah, you just sit in there and relax. And also all the locals from the Saxon Bar go there on their off day, so it's just molds into one. Because with this
So even on the day off, they've got to deal with you.
Yeah. That's when they spoil themselves, when they go Drop the Anchor.
Spoil or soil?
Well, I'm not going to say what the stouts do at the end of it. Anyway, yeah.
Anybody else?
Well, I went to Buxton this year, which was good. Thoroughly enjoyed myself there, but I did enjoy the experiment when we were there. But me, it's probably because of company, because we just sat outside and took the piss out of people, walking past.
Yeah.
The group of people that look like they're from The Apprentice.
Oh yeah.
Walking down.
What, you saw people from The Apprentice?
No, there was literally a group of there's 4 blokes and 4 girls, all in suited and booted, and I just turned around and go, I didn't realise they're shooting The Apprentice here. when I clocked them.
Witty bant.
Yeah.
It was as it turns out, actually next door but one, there's a Breaking Bad themed kind of bar stroke restaurant.
Yeah,
it's an experiential, experiential kind of thing with an RV, and that's where they're all going. Peter's so upset by that.
I mean, I enjoyed Breaking Bad, but
and next door to that was Deviant and Dandy Brewery, and the
Did
reports
you go
back.
Up there?
No, I didn't, but I wanted to go and see it.
Yeah. It sounded fucking mental, didn't it?
Yeah, there was no one in there. No one in there, and they're really surly.
And when Seth went over, he said there were some guy in there with a Donald Trump kind of latex mask on and stuff.
Yeah,
and there were a bird bath and some bits of shit knocking around and a converted bus or something. It
sounds like heaven.
But then they weren't open. I'm like, what the fuck is going on there? He only went up because he's a bit of a ticker. We all just stuck around other place because we were getting our free drinks because Vernon pulled out of Beaver X. They were giving, if you had a ticket, you got free drinks. So good times. Seeing it, son.
Can I quickly before we move on, or going right?
Go on.
Going back to the Saxon Bar, completely forgot about mentioning that they've just installed another 2 keg taps. They had 2, so basically they got 4 kegs on, and then 4 cask. And then tonight, before about half an hour before we went on, I get an email from the owner saying, "Oh, by the way, I want to test out my new crowler machine. Want to come down and get yourself a litre or something?" I was like, "Mate, I can't literally physically run there and back in half an hour. Batman can't even fucking walk fast."
Crowler machines are silly expensive. Yeah.
But
that's 16 grand or something from what I've seen.
Really? Wow. Vocation have got a machine, but I don't think it's not a crowler. It's essentially it's a sealer.
Yeah.
Sealer, so you got blank cans and tops, and you seal it.
There's CO2 in them as well.
Not at the moment. The CO2 line to purge it, but I got a kind of Agamemnon I opened it like 40 minutes later, so I didn't care that it was like not really going to affect it in that sense.
Yeah.
I presume a proper crowler machine does it fill that seal and everything?
Yeah. So it should do like CO2 purge, fill, and then final CO2, and then cap. Well, top on basically. Which not many actual canning lines do, which I found. Not many actually do. They kind of just fill straight to the top. A lot of the American canning systems that we get over, so you just fill straight to the top because I'm trying to get a canning line or a bottling line. But a lot of them just fill straight to the top and just hope for the best.
So it's like the Sibian of the craft beer world.
Yeah. But my the owner of Saxon Bar, he's a bit of a hippie. So he wanted to get rid of the plastic Flanagans. He just because you can't recycle them, obviously. So it's like, what else could I do better? And then obviously he had that idea of having a crowler machine, which if it works, it works. Give it a week.
Give it a next up, best festival of the year. I'm gonna say Daxi because it was really good. I mean, admittedly, I paid a fraction of the price of what everybody else did.
Sweeten the deal there.
Yeah.
I was quite happy with that. And the quality of the beer was absolutely incredible. You really struggled. It was a real serious FOMO situation. You're like, I want everything, but it may kill me if I try and drink it all. And you know what? Even if I'd paid full price, I don't think I'd feel hard done by, like, value wise. I'd definitely pay it and go next year if they deliver the breweries that they did this year. I mean, some great lineup. Got a little bit busy at times. Okay, fair enough, but fantastic. I mean, I'm sure Hop City will go that way. I'm sure. Apparently, if you're a shareholder, you've already been contacted about something about Hop City.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that'll go all in. And you know what? Whatever anybody thinks, from my experience of actually 3 all-in festivals now, I think it works. I mean, I don't think you do get ripped off as long as the price is right.
Yeah.
I don't think you get ripped off.
I think as long as it hovers around that £45 mark,
yeah.
I think that's good. When it starts breaching that, I think it's when it's
Although that being
just
said,
another time drinking.
That being said, I think Indie Man gets the token concept spot on.
They don't need to change that.
No, that they can.
I want to say Indie Man as well. I had a great time at Indie Man, but yeah, it was such a brief time at Indie Man there.
Yeah, it was such a short session.
It's not, but it is.
It is, yeah. Especially when you're fucking walking around and every 10 minutes someone's going, "Oh, Rob from HopZine, can I get a photo?"
I want the only one.
This is my friend Peter.
Yeah.
Won't tell you his YouTube name.
That was basically me at Beaver actually when I saw Rob. To be fair. I saw him, I was like,
what is
Rob!
That,
Come here, I'll serve you some beer, come here.
Yeah. Indie Man was...
Stuart, what is that noise?
It is like some from Inception or like Lost.
It's like
probably his bowels moving.
2016.
What?
Can you not hear that, Stu? It stopped.
It's not me.
Industrial floor polisher.
It's not me.
It is. It's back again.
Stuart, I've finished the job for you.
So yeah, been
I guess it. What I'll do is I'll just close my eyebrows and...
Oh no! Don't go, Stu.
No, don't leave.
I'm not doing anything. I can't hear anything.
All right, don't worry.
It's like it's stopped now. It was like some sort of interference or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Beaver X was amazing for me. Just the whole experience of pouring. Obviously, did he just? Oh, wicked at all time though.
Salted. Come on now, come on, put yourselves together.
I feel like I'm getting closer to like a gem in a video game where it's like pulsating, you've got to find it. No, don't do that, Stuart. Come on.
That was
Definitely lowered the tone.
yeah.
But going back onto the subject,
I've forgotten what I was saying.
Eject. Don't let me make them impress the button, Stuart. Look at it. Come on. Please don't get it.
Stu, can you turn Hal off, please?
There, it is him.
What is that sound? No, I want to know what it is. It's been like pulsating in my ears for the past.
He's the one with the fucking industrial standard of the car. Stuart doesn't realise I've got the power to just focus the camera on him. So when he's doing all this shit, just do this. Just everybody looks at him. Here we go. No, I can't. I'm turning the camera up. I'm on control. I didn't realise I could have this power. Gotta abuse it now. So there you go. So everybody can just permanently look at Stuart. Well,
That's what. This is what a mini keg of Pabst Blue Ribbon does to you.
Just say no, kids.
I was Wainwright. Okay, sorry.
You drank it from the spout.
I don't think I've ever bought a keg. I've never bought a keg.
No.
What?
You probably shouldn't do as well.
I sold 7 today. That's as far as I'll do it. It's brilliant because I can get. I'll do it. Danny Kane here again. All right. I'll do it. Danny Kane.
You sound
even
like
know
a
what
beer
that is.
hooligan.
It's all about that, Harry. Do you want to explain?
Mark.
Danny Kane is
Yeah.
because I can't do Michael Caine and I can't do Danny Dyer. So
So
I
you
do
mix
Danny Kane.
Danny Kane.
She was just 50 years old.
Bad heel. And then of course there's the what's his name? Comedian. I'll do it.
I'll do it. Crystalia.
Crystalia that
And by the
Peter
way,
showed me.
When Harry was going about how he sold 4 kegs, this song came to mind.
So I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker.
No need to flex, Harry.
I'm just saying that I sell them rather than bloody buying them because I know the quality of the beer inside them. There's no way in hell I'd ever buy one myself, apart from when I have to every 2 weeks.
Well, just to make the numbers add up.
No, we're literally allowed to buy one. We're allowed to buy our own beer at a slightly discounted rate, and I buy one every 2 weeks. And I'm not giving it away as a Christmas present this year. But
So I'm just going to run through some comments. I'm going to go in reverse order because it's easier. So Tom McCarthy regarding Beer Festival, Best Beer Festival, he said Alltech in Dublin, and then we've got our beautiful Paul over at PA Brew News, and he's September 29th through October 6th. All I'm hearing is those dates in Paul's Best Dusty Roads impression. Kent Piss Up 2019. Advice needed. Best place to travel to in England, Scotland, Wales for beer, tap room, and brewery. That's a good comment. Question we can come back to. I definitely want to come back to that. Blah blah blah. Da, da, da. Paul says, "I like chewing on copper coins. Damn these new zinc-based coins." Says, "Cheers, everyone." Tom says he's going to open one more beer. Yeah, go for it, mate. The Luke Chelsea 26, the 26th of the Luke Chelseas. He says the best shop is the Vineyard in Belfast, the best off license in Northern Ireland. Then Tom says wine shop, Kenny, best beer shop in South East Ireland. So you're getting your gen around Ireland at the moment. The Sunflower and Woodworkers in Belfast are great. Also, Northern Lights, which is run by Galway Bay, is great in Belfast. Yada yada yada. And another good comment from Thomas. So I think we've got two questions which are worth looking at there, which are best places to go in England, Scotland, Wales, kind of like taproom, brewery, and then the other one being, where was his comment? This is a nice comment. This actually, what is the worst beer or the most overhyped beer of the year? I like that.
Emmy, Verdant, and Daya.
Oh, shut up. Well,
it could be Eddie.
Good courtesy.
Question.
Muting himself.
Where would you want to go in 2019?
That's a good question.
If you had a choice.
You had the choice.
Australia, probably.
No, for beer, not for relaxation.
Yeah, Australia.
Okay.
Australia craft beer. I wouldn't mind trying that. Pirate Life. Nomad. Definitely Nomad. I would love to try Nomad. And then get back.
You're in York. You'll get a load of it.
Yeah.
To York. Cheaper. It's a lot quicker.
Come to Yorkshire. It's cheaper. Everything comes to Yorkshire.
Yeah, absolutely. No, sorry, go on. So, yeah, Australia. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in Australia. Yeah.
Mine would probably be Denmark or Canada.
Mm.
I think Canada would be a really good shout.
Where's Jimmy? Johnny? What's his name nowadays? Marshall.
He's still around. He's in Sweden at the moment.
Okay.
Michael.
James, Michael.
I want to go Sweden. But Ireland is on my top agenda for 2019.
Do you know? I'd like to do Belgium properly. I've been to Belgium, but I'd like to go just specifically for beer. I've been there for holidays, but to just go specifically to go to beer places, I'd love to do it.
Apparently, there's good bar shops there as well.
Yeah, there's some amazing ones.
Yeah, it must be, yeah.
Hop Duvel, Undrunken Gears, and kind of near Ghent.
So we've got Australia, Ireland, Belgium.
Go on YouTube, search for HopZine and Hop Duvel.
Yeah. Every country outside of England.
Well, we'll have to pay to get there now, which will be the difference. But
no, I'll just backstop my trip to Ireland. Is that how it works? You backstop it. You don't want to pay for it.
Yeah, if there's a hard border, it means you'd have to.
So, Rob, we had Belgium, Australia, and Ireland.
I'd love to go to more places. Yeah, it's endless though. I mean, I'd love to. I live vicariously through the back catalogue of Anthony Bourdain. So, somewhere with good pork and good beer. What more can you ask for? I'd love to go to. I'd love to go to Texas. Yeah,
My cousin's in Texas.
yeah. I've got family. I've got a lot of family in Texas. Yeah, go to Austin and go to Franklin's Barbecue and.
Yeah, Austin would be the place I'd want to go most in Texas.
A bunch of places. I mean,
Jester King.
There's so many places. I go to California again tomorrow. I'd like to go to Chicago. I'd like to go to I'd love to go to Toronto. So many places. I'd love to go loads of places in America. Yeah, there's so many places. I love Italy though as well. So I mean, I'd go to.
I'd love to go on a pizza tour in Italy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, God.
Italy is beautiful.
Oh man, we've got to do that. Italy's really cheap to get to. We've got to go on a pizza tour of Italy.
Oh yeah,
we've got to do it.
Sicily, Napoli. Don't have to go to any fancy restaurants. Just any street vendor.
Not the fancy restaurants.
Just working through Frank all episodes of the
basically
show.
Just the pizza show from Munchies.
Yeah,
just everywhere he's visited. Okay.
Absolutely.
Gotta say, I've been eyeing up that T-shirt that the other guy from Craft Beer Channel was wearing. On I actually found that T-shirt. You know when they did that video with Frank at that pizza place in London.
Yeah, yard sale.
Yeah, I actually found the shop that did that T-shirt, and they were charging like $30 before shipping to have it sent to the UK.
What you mean? What Brad were wearing? What was Brad wearing?
Because there's the
best pieces. Frank's place.
You know the guy from the Craft Beer Channel with the longer hair? Brad, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny.
The one who sort of gets glossed over.
He's ace. I met him once when we were up at Brewdog, and he's very funny.
They should leave because on their live things, he's just so funny because I think they edit a lot of what he says out.
Yeah. Some of the stuff he comes out with is wonderful.
Nonsense that comes out with. One of my, I mean, we kind of divert from here. We've clearly, for the viewing public, we've clearly finished the kind of formal part of this, and we're just bollocking around it.
Golden Pints has ended.
And one of my favourite moments on the Craft Beer Channel is there is one where they were talking about hype beers and stuff, and like Johnny's signing off and stuff, and he's saying, "Oh, sometimes you've got to get off the hype train somewhere a little bit somewhere unexpected." And Brad just chips in like New Malden. I watched that endlessly and just laughed continuously because he's got a really cheeky grin on his face, but he doesn't really deadpan. He's got a really cheeky grin, and then Johnny don't even deviate. He just goes, "No, not New Malden." It's just a wonderful moment. But yeah, I mean, yeah. When I first met those two guys, Brad's funny. He's super cool as well. I mean, he's got like a fucking vintage car and all this kind of business. Yeah, the filming is flat. Well, his house always flat. It's always like adorned with loads of bits and bats. I think Peter is watching the Craft Beer Channel.
I'm trying to find that T-shirt now.
So Uk Brewery of 2018, a brewery that you've not seen before, and that stood out for you.
really. I don't think there's anything kind of brand new.
Isn't One to Beyond like a year old? So
Yeah,
they would have
One to
just
Beyond,
started.
they made an impression.
Yeah,
They're
they would have just started at the end of last year.
Maybe no. I went when it was Dan's Brewery. I went during Manchester Beer Week, not this year, year before. So maybe that's all. And they were.
I think One to Beyond. Did they celebrate their birthday this weekend?
They did, yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, it is a newish brewery. It's only.
It's got to be rolled.
New brewery for me would be Nightlife Brewing Limited. They started at the end of. Hold on, I need to find. I actually don't know. I need to have a look and because when I went down there after work when I was doing my labouring, he said, "Yeah, come down after work. We'll have a few beers. We'll talk. You can review the beers, blah blah." And I was like, "Yeah, that's cool. I'll do that." And it just ended up me and him talking, obviously, and then one of his regulars who like obviously gets his beer sort of thing. He goes, "Mate, I won't be able to serve you any beer. I've got this reviewer that's here at the moment." And I went, "Mate, it's fine. You can do what you can still serve this your mate beer." He goes, "No, mate, I'm real honoured that you're doing this for me." And I was like, cheers. But yeah, he's it was 5 months he's started selling the beers, and that was the first day that they opened when I went there. And yeah, Glenn's a sound guy. Fucking don't know how he makes his beers. His first batch was a sour. I think it was raspberry.
Mash on a kettle, mate.
Raspberry and pink peppercorn sour, which was neon light, I think.
By the way, that's the T-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, how good is that, though? It's $30 before shipping, though.
What does it say? Pizza Paradise.
Pizza Paradise, yeah.
Roberta's. Where's Roberta's, Rob?
Never heard of it, mate.
Yeah.
Okay, the wheels completely come off of this. We've got all sorts of
Brooklyn. If you want Roberta's pizza, go to Brooklyn.
I will say thank you to my esteemed panel of British beer experts.
Don't thank us.
I thank you, everybody else.
Oh, Rob, we've forgot one category, which is online retailer of the year, which is Honest Brew. If you'd like to go to Honest Brew, use the code GoodBeerLive. Sorry, carry on, Rob.
Yeah. Anyway, I agree.
The Golden Pints.
Rad beer.
Fuck off. No.
Mind you, get that wild beer icebox for quite cheap on Rad Beer.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying
the icebox
M43 beer from America. I don't know who makes that, but
unfounded shilling.
by the way, if you go to the Clueless Drinkers channel, you can get yourself a code that will give you 50% off your McKellar Beer Mail or Beer Club box. By the way, Mickle, I know you're watching this. Either pay for me to visit Copenhagen and film stuff, or you give me free beer, because I have shilled my arse off for you this year.
And on that bombshell, Peter shilled his arse off.
Really good beer. It's so good. I'm super excited about this New England IPA we're going to release in this month's box. Cheers, Frank.
Is that such a weekend Matt Copenhagen?
Attitude of people who work for Mikula. It's like, yes, so we made some beer. Gave it to our friends. They liked it. So we made some more, and then.
But by the way, you get free beers from the Alchemist. Really, really cool brewery. Yeah, really good beer. So good. Tastes nice.
Did you put down the